Yet another podcast. We got the Hero City podcast. Episode 7. We got 7 episodes now. With y'all heathens. I ain't introducing y'all no more. I'm introducing my boy Greno here for the first time. Another resident of the Emerald City. Yeah, we got another, you know what I'm saying? Another brain to add to the Hero Console or the Hero City podcast console. Whatever the hell we gonna call this. I'll come up with something corny
Straight
eventually.
about the burn.
I will
the
come
city
up.
Of chaos.
I will
dead.
come up with something corny eventually. And she will stop being so dark eventually.
No.
Eventually.
The Hero City Agency.
And there it is. And there it is. The Hero City Agency, baby. And I said corny. It ain't even corny.
No.
You love to see it. You love to see it. See if it was me.
It's a democracy.
I vote no on proposition.
Democracy? Who said that?
Nah.
Yeah, who said that?
We live in monarchy.
Okay.
But
alright, y'all got it. It's democracy, except for when it comes to who's the fucking mayor. Ain't none of that. Ain't none of that. It ain't even gonna be my lineage. After I die, the city will crumble. No, I'm lying.
You think I won't take over?
That's crazy. Y'all hear this mutiny? This mutiny in action coming through.
It's been
you are the one who appointed the chaos. I mean, it is what it is.
Listen, I believe in y'all powers as vices, you know what I'm saying, to keep the balance. That's all I'm saying. Y'all got a power balance here, you know what I'm saying? There's 5 of y'all for a reason.
Leave it to me.
That's all I'm saying. You hear this MC? You hear this? You hear Mr. Twitcher, your resident fucking MC over here? That's all I'm saying. That's a documented Deku stand number 1. Speaking of Deku, he had a good ass chapter. We're gonna start the chapter discussion. Hello, it's a good ass chapter. I know Miss Twitchy had a lot to say about it.
Oh no, it's raining.
We out here. That's what we need. That's all we need.
No, like my internet is gonna go out probably.
Oh no. Well, we'll get that. We just started the discussion, so we'll get everything out now before the shit happens.
That's a beautiful caption you have.
Huh?
I love it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the caption.
Oh yeah. You already know what's going on. No. Dope ass chapter. Deku's about to save your boy Shigaraki.
Yeah.
Listen.
All for
and
one.
you be mad about it. Yeah.
Bro,
You don't like that, do you? You be upset about it.
Playing peekaboo.
Yeah.
I think there is a possibility that's what that panel meant, but I would not like that.
What wouldn't you like?
Deku saving Shigaraki.
What from what specifically? Why?
Himself.
All for one, the will, the vestige, the thingy, whatever you want to call it.
Why?
I just don't. I can't explain it. It's gotten to a point to where I think it was like 2 or 3 chapters ago where Deku literally said, "I will never forgive you," yet he's gonna save him.
And his body moved.
I guess that can kind of play into what Toga brought up at the end of the chapter 287. Like, where do you draw the line?
He's talking
Would you
about
save anyone?
Just because he's not going to forgive Shigaraki doesn't mean he has to kill him. As a hero, there are other ways that they are supposed to handle things.
Sure, but it also doesn't mean he has to save him. That's where I draw the line.
Right. Well, it's one of the things. If he doesn't save Shigaraki, how is Shigaraki going to serve time or, pay? Yeah, like, where's the justice if Shigaraki isn't there?
Ain't no justice in death. He just does. You know what I'm saying? We trying to see people get theirs. I know Shigaraki's my boy, but it's like, you know what I'm saying? He kind of got it coming to him. His daddy had it coming to him too. You know what I'm saying? That's my boy. What's up?
Speaking of that chapter, did you guys notice that All For One's eyes aren't like shown? Like they're blurry?
Yeah, I mean his eyes are never. His eyes are
like a zip by All Might.
Nigga,
yeah, like
his eyes are never shown though. Like show me.
We saw his face before.
You show me. You show me. You show me his. You show me his whole face. You find it and you link it, and we'll pull it up on stream.
He looks like Ado.
If one of y'all niggas in the stream can find it, link that bitch. Because it doesn't exist.
He looks like a potato.
And the discussion is off to a great start with both sides screaming simultaneously.
So
what's up, Grant?
Oh yeah. So one thing I'd like to mention is that All For One you know how All for One was kind of like partially emerging from Shigi's body inside the Vestige world
Yeah.
last chapter. So that was foreshadowed, like I think in chapter 280 or like a little bit earlier, when Shigi had that whole like dream sequence where he was talking to his family and he was like breaking the chains one by one. So it was foreshadowed all the way over there.
I think I agree. I agree with that, and it did it again.
We had a visual view of All for One like standing there, where Shigi was like, "Why do you look like?" Oh,
Like a spirit, I think, something along those lines.
yeah. He says, "Why do you look like a spirit?" Or who? I forgot. My brain is blanking out. What's
It's the morning I feel it.
Kurogiri.
Yeah, Kurogiri. Yeah, he's like, "Why do you look like Kurogiri?" And then that's the like entire
Oh,
sequence,
yeah.
and then put here, which leads me to my second point, which is more to do with the actual conversation that All for One and One for All had, which is essentially like, so All for One talked about how there's the whole thing about how throughout the generations, he's well, we know from previous chapters that the doctor transferred his original life force quirk to AFO while he kept the duplicate, and then a couple years later, once the life force quirk has been merged within All for One, he gives the original All for One to Shigi, and then keeps a duplicate for himself.
Yep.
So maybe the concept of passing it down, like how All for One is passing down the All for One quirks, is a singularity that comes from the original All for One, where the future holder has a more advanced version while the previous holder has a duplicate. And One for All is obviously passed down through the quirk as it collects within itself and evolves as it goes down each generation. So that's a second singularity quirk. My guess is probably towards the end of the series, we'll have like an actual like clash of what it means to have two singularity quirks facing against each other. What do you guys think on that?
Quick question.
You
Do you only
preach it.
think there'll be two singularity
Same.
quirks by that time? Or do you think that since this generation has been brought up time and time again, that we're going to have multiple singularity quirks? Because last podcast, I believe it was Sherm who brought up Kirishima's hardening quirk,
I mean,
and essentially how that
Oh, no.
might be considered a singularity quirk
I
by
mean,
some.
wouldn't technically I consider Shoto a singularity quirk. Like,
Oh, he really is. though.
Yeah, like it.
I mean, if you look at it that way, every quirk that comes from every generation going
yeah,
forward
yeah,
will be a
that
singularity
is
quirk.
true.
But what I'm talking about is specifically like quirks that have like a collection of multiple different quirks forged into like one ultimate quirk, which is what One for All and All for One are. They are like completed singularity quirks, you could say, or like
Yeah.
potentially almost completed singularity quirks.
they are the
Whereas
ones
the
that
others
would be
are-
completed if they do.
Yeah, so my thing is probably towards the end of the series, because singularity is like, the concept of singularity is that it's too much power for one person to hold, or for even a bunch of people to hold, right? So maybe there's going to be like this entire backlash of having both these quirks collide against each other,
I
which
think-
could also be hinting at the thing that Bakugo said earlier, which was that the quirk, that the One for All quirk could be cursed. And I'll get into that a little bit later in the discussion, but
That could,
that's
I feel like something along those lines, like whatever could happen when they clash, could decide a lot of things for quirks in general. I know people think like it's possible that everybody ends up quirkless in the end. So it's like if it hasn't something to do with that, I could absolutely see.
So
Well-
a cool
So I-
idea that I just thought of.
Yeah.
If you guys remember back to the All Might versus All for One fight, when they literally were trading fist, and All for One was holding All Might's fist in his hands. If what Grin suggests is like the end game between two singularity quirks, what if there's like an anti-quirk like energy wave that goes outward from that clash? So it's like an EMP, but it just comes out from Shigi and Deku.
That'd be like Yeah, that's that's the.
You mean something that, like,
I don't know the method, but that sounds something like what I'm talking
yeah.
about. Yeah.
You mean something that reverts quirks from progressing further, like in general, to becoming singularities and progressing them back to how they were initially?
Or
Like something
maybe
like that?
Well, if you're talking about regressing quirks, then my mind immediately shoots to
Eri.
Eri.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
probably going to be on the way to erase quirks out of the world if that's the end we want to envision, which I know is a pretty popular theory, at least around
I don't
our
think that's
part.
gonna happen. I do think she'll have a very clutch role,
I
but
don't know
I
about all
don't
that.
think they're gonna
That's a
erase
stretch. That's a
quirks.
gumu no.
So say if we have, I wouldn't want any more than like, I would say at most a 5-year time skip. But say that there's like a 10-year time skip.
Ooh, a 10-year time skip.
Just hypothetically.
Five sound long as hell.
No, I'm saying that would be the longest I
Okay.
would want. But
Yeah.
say that there's a 10-year time skip, would that then be the next generation that is essentially fighting Quirk
do
Singularity
your
as
homework.
the final villain, and Eri has to rewind the quirks out of them before they're destroyed by their own
Ooh,
quirks?
Ooh. Oh shit. I could see that actually happening somewhere in the future, like you said. If it's 10 years of a time skip, I can see that the concept of singularity itself being the ultimate villain or being the ultimate issue that has to be resolved. That would definitely make sense, and it would work with the series' plot.
It's like it ends up Shiggy with something else as opposed to just Shiggy.
Okay, so so we know that when quirks are evolving, they're heading towards this singularity point. But as the generations go on, if humans start to use quirks less, wouldn't they just adapt to better handle quirks, and then we can reach a point where we can kind of climb towards that singularity and like kind of reach the balance of us evolving to handle our quirks and then evolving the quirks, like kind of a, I don't know if I'm making sense.
You making sense? You making sense, and I just don't. You making sense? I just disagree because it's like I get it, I feel it because it's like imagine, because people not gonna give up their quirks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People not gonna be like, hey man, if you sit down for 3 years, you can fly for the rest of your life. It's not happening for the world.
Well, one thing I wanted to bring
Listen.
up to Sherm's point is the fact that Redestro wants the exact opposite. So if the villains win like we think they're going to win, then all of Quirks, or the people wielding the Quirks, will be liberated. They'll be using it more than they normally would have, and that's where singularity becomes an even greater issue because people
that's
keep
what I'm saying.
using
Yes,
it,
but no.
using it.
Yes, but no.
Whenever they get that broadcast out, oh.
Because keep in mind that the people who aren't allowed to really use their quirk right now are like Inko, who can like float very small things around. Like, so her using her quirk more, that's not gonna hurt anything, you know?
All I'm saying is if she
I was
tried to
thinking
get
about the
if she
kindergartners.
tried to get cold with that motherfucker, boy, she probably be. All I'm saying is floating everything around. Is that what?
Oh,
you mean?
there's actually it's a Baku Deku comic where like Inko's actually a villain and she throws knives.
Oh god.
Huh?
So, no, like she levitates knives.
Wait,
So
repeat all that. Repeat it.
Oh, so like she uses her quirk, so she levitates and throws knives.
That be wrong.
I thought her quirk was only to
I just
pull
didn't hear what you
objects
said.
toward herself.
Yeah.
Like
So
she
she's-
pulls
Okay,
knives towards
gravitation. You know, listen to pull. You can do a little 360.
So she just stands on
You
the
can do it
opposite
like a
side of her
she
stud
might
with
be.
knives.
Listen, she might be able to do like a 360 and then like it fly away from her or some shit. Listen, I'm trying.
No, it's more like she'll trap
She-
them, I think. And
She
then, like,
pull
they
it
just
towards
come
herself
towards
real fast and then hit a
Yeah.
matrix dodge and do it behind her. You know what I'm saying?
That is quite situational, but damn.
I mean, if you get cold with it and you know
That pull
angles,
where she pulls so hard
you
the knife
get-
just goes through her and stabs behind her.
if you get cold with it and no angles, that's all I'm saying. Shoot, shoot,
Or-
shoot, shoot, shoot.
Or if somebody has her hostage or something like that, and they grab her, and then she could.
Imagine her choke slam game is crazy. Come here, nigga.
So guys, here's my thing on what you said, Sherm, about the quirk singularity. It's that, see, so I'm taking real life as an example. We know that technology is advancing really quickly, right? So eventually, at some point, we will hit singularity, right? But unlike technology, which can be controlled or moderated or evolved or changed or something, quirks, on the other hand, relating, like, based on info that we've got in this chapter, I'm assuming that quirks work just like genetics, right? So just like how the DNA evolves, how every generation will get better through genetics, quirks are also passed down through genetics, through the organs, as well as the consciousness. If the consciousness is brought into the entire concept of quirk singularity, then every generation that grows forward, like, they would be taught based on the events that happened in the past, right? So they would be gaining like a portion of the conscious, whether through their parents teaching them or through history books or some shit that about things that are happening. And I feel like quirk singularity would be unavoidable, or at least it would be a lot more harder to actually affect it. Given that the fact that every generation evolves its quirks going forward.
Yeah.
It's a much better analogy than mine.
Green and Twitchy are making me sick, bro.
Huh?
I told you my theory. Like, this is really what I was writing about like 2-3 months ago. I'm so sick.
Fucking put it out. What?
It's too late. I'm sick.
You're on a My Hero live stream / podcast talking about I got a theory but won't say it. That's crazy. That's insane.
I'll spit a theory every time I got one.
You know what I'm saying? You feel me?
Okay, so like you guys can actually do research in dealing with like blood and what's that? Not organ donation. What is it called? I forgot. It's some part of the DNA strands.
Mm-hmm.
And you can actually go into it and look and like research and dealing with like actually like gender and what else is it?
Genetic modification.
Yes, but also look up if you really want to get weird, because I think this is how no moves are made. Look up a man-made lamb.
That sounds horrifying.
Lamb grown.
No.
It's basically like a lamb grown in a lab. So it spent its whole like from conception to like.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about.
Just a test tube lamb.
Well, did I learn that in science or social
It's
studies?
the same thing as test tube, right?
But it's a
Probably science.
because they're doing it with pigs and because a pig was cloned, a sheep was cloned, and a human ear. Yeah, they grow human ears on rats, basically. But
well, I mean, rats can have like 75% of the genetic makeup of as a human does. That's why it's test. That's why whenever a virus or something comes out, they test it on rats first and then check it on human testing.
Oh yeah, I know. That's why I was like researching it and stuff.
But it's like
what is that called? It was.
I would say so.
Racial disparity, maybe.
But it's
and like evolutionary and stuff.
You mean the no moves are made kind of like those?
Wait.
Because those are dead people.
So y'all were saying
you can
that
reanimate a body though. It's not
I know,
that hard.
but you said homegrown. You just said it's kind of like I guess you said if you really want to get weird. I guess never mind.
I mean, I don't think all no moves are made from. I think it's like the person's dead, but they're taking what they need and they're making it into like a new organism, basically.
I think they use the majority. What I'm saying is I think they use the majority of the old organism. That's what I'm saying.
Which reminds me, also when saying that the whole thing with the organs, we saw like early on before the heroes even invaded the Jakku hospital, like way before the chapter where they said that the heroes vanished from the city that day, we saw one of the chapters where Shigi was being experimented on by Ujiko with all these weird like machines and mechanisms and shit. So it's like I'm almost 100% sure that he has All For One's organs inside him, which is why All For One can manifest his consciousness inside Shigi's body.
I wouldn't go as far to say the organs. I think All For One specifically name dropped quirk factors, which I believe is probably just genetic makeup, whether it be like enzymes or something like that. I wouldn't go as far as to say the organs, but you could be right.
Okay, well,
you talking about it like genetic?
All right, so technically,
so if
okay.
So we know in MVA that Twice used the Toga clone to donate blood to her. And we know that Ujiko had twice his quirk. So it's absolutely possible that with AFO still in Tartarus, he was able to do.
Wait.
Yeah, exactly.
I know what you're
to
going to
do
say.
the organ
Because I
donation.
actually noted this
Mhm.
quite a while back.
Is that
Yep.
how quirks are copied?
Probably, possibly, potentially.
Whoa. Damn. I
We
didn't think
might be
about
out
that
here
until
spitting.
now.
Yeah.
Horikoshi about to get the podcast canceled,
Yeah.
y'all.
Uh,
Dude,
yeah.
I was going to take it one step further by saying that maybe we'll see Twice coming back, but not in the way we think he will. Because currently the person in possession of Twice's blood is Toga, and we know that she can utilize people's quirks.
Yep,
we've
I've said
seen
this
that-
before, but keep going.
Yeah. We've seen that she can use, what do you say, Ochako's quirk. She took her blood and then used it in MVA. So this is just a wild ass theory, but I'm chucking it out there. If Toga somehow utilizes Twice's quirk, we might get like a mini Vestige world kind of situation where Toga reunites with Twice within his quirk.
Wait, so what did all you guys just say? 'Cause I blanked out so hard.
What?
If-
Blanked out so
if-
hard. I'm sorry.
If
The Discord
Twice
makes
comes
sense.
back, if Twice comes back in the Vestige world, I think that's the only way I would be okay with it. I still don't want to see him brought back like as
Physically.
an actual character physically, but him interacting with Toga in a Vestige world, if she ever uses his quirk, I would be okay with that. That
Yeah,
would
same,
be
because
interesting.
I don't want him to come back because his death was important and significant and really well done. So
Amen.
Where that 5% at?
Why you gotta do me
Yeah,
like
Hart
that?
just put it in the
Why you gotta put me on
Hold up.
blast like that?
Hold up. Hart just really said it in the chat. I
It's
just noticed it.
technically
I got on-
possible for a physical Twice to exist.
Stop it.
But I keep
Oh,
getting that
God.
shot down, so
Okay.
Shot
But Hart
down?
is
I would
right because
never.
I did read a study where like some guy cut he cut like the dog's head off. That's all I was saying, Choke, stuff like that.
what?
No, Hart was talking about is it
You
Hart?
called, yeah, I thought I was tripping. I thought I was
It's
tripping.
Hart.
She said choke.
yeah. But yeah, anyways. Yeah.
Twitchy, you
it's
had
like
what's it called, no man?
that.
You had what's it
What's
called?
I'm going to bed.
No, you're not. That's cap. You had topics. You have parts of this chapter that you wanted to break down, sire. You had.
Yeah, there's a few. So I'll just go from the top, I guess, from what I posted in Discord.
Mhm.
So the first one, we actually got an updated look at Ryukyu, and she looks like crap.
That's like that's one of the few that I didn't do because it was very small.
Oh, okay. So I guess I'll go to the next one.
No, you could keep going about it because it's a good ass question.
I feel like there's a possibility that she might be blind because we do not see her eyeballs in that short little panel that was showed with Manual.
It's gonna be like a blind snake. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Snake?
I
Snake.
don't have nothing else to say to that.
A snake with wing? It's a dragon.
Yeah.
It's called a
Blind
dragon.
And then there was like
What
Go
page
ahead.
is that panel?
for the Ryukyu.
Yeah, I'm just trying to take a look at it myself real fast.
Yep, one sec. Let me pull it up.
A blind dragon sound like somebody, Lord. Shit, what you mean? That
Right? Yeah, like
that sound anime as fuck.
that sounds heat to me.
So it is on page 3. It is panel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Of the latest chapter,
286.
286.
See,
Oh,
man,
286.
y'all out
Oh,
here
okay, see,
falling.
I was in 287. I'm like, page 3 don't got a dragon on here. What? Okay.
And it also looks like her right arm might be completely destroyed. So not only might have Shigaraki made her blind, but he also might have cut off her right hand,
Yeah, I feel like she's done. She's done.
which is going to be great because Nejire's coming to the scene. She's going to see her mentor
What
destroyed.
is she gonna do? Twist him to death?
Yep.
I need some Nejire
Yeah.
development. That's all I'm saying.
I mean,
What's going? What she gonna do?
She's gonna have a
Go-
big bad
Hey.
man.
Scene
She gonna hit
right
him-
now,
she gonna hit him with the
Oh
she
my
gonna hit him with the
God.
Kamehameha twist.
Stop.
Dejire, Ida, Suyu.
I mean, we need development
Hit him with that big
here
twist
from, like,
attack.
anyone who's not
Y'all know? Do y'all know what the comic
this
book guy's
point.
name is? I forgot what his name is.
I just call him Manga. I think that's one of his names, whether it's his first or last. But no, that's literally his
You don't
name.
call him manga?
That's literally his name.
Come here,
What?
manga.
That's his name. What?
Oh my god. Manga Fukudoshi, I think.
You know
his
she.
name
You
is.
know she don't read.
Which is
You-
ironic because his name's Manga.
Yeah. It's just,
You
that's
know
so
she.
meta.
You know she don't read.
So where he's a manga. A manga.
But nah, continue down your twitchy rabbit hole.
Okay, so 286 and 287, I read them together since I was a week behind, and there was something that I noticed. A couple things that I noticed about 286 in particular is that there were a lot of similarities to the Endeavor versus Hood fight. So if you look at the way that the double spread on pages 4 and 5 for 286 look, it looks really similar to when Endeavor tried to punch Hood, and Deku's eyes look really similar.
I told you Deku's like a actual successful Nomu. I said this in the beginning.
Well, I don't
That's
know if I
just
go
not-
as far to say a
It's not what he's
but
saying.
it's connected to
Okay.
something else. So we also know that All for One has killed all the previous One for All users. And I am under the impression that before he killed them, he stole their quirks.
I don't know about that. I don't think so.
I think he definitely has float. The other ones might be a stretch, but who's to say?
I think it's possible for him to have a different type of quirk that lets him fly. Because we already like there's what's it called?
Anti-gravity?
Yeah, Uraka's
the-
anti-gravity and shit.
When he went into the air, that was literally, and I went back and checked this. I have 1, 2, 3,
Show those
4,
notes,
5,
Twitchy.
6.
Show those receipts.
I have like 10 different pages / panels that name drop every single time he called out a quirk. He did not call it when he originally went into
like,
the air.
Wait, what? He
the-
was
the-
calling out quirks?
Yep.
The only quirk I would be okay with him stealing from any of the LFA.
How you pass down
it-
a quirk
it's
that's stolen?
Like
I mean, it
it,
makes sense, right?
well, because
It's
like,
in
okay.
All for One, the quirk.
yeah, like because if we go with the
Junior,
theory
appreciate you.
that the hand that one of Shigaraki's hands was Nana's, then her quirk can still be passed down, but they could have taken the quirk out of her hand that they had
Or that.
before that hand, like just going off that whole theory. Like her float would be the only one I would be okay with him having. Not like Black Whip or anything. I don't want to see.
See, that just sounds just so
All
weird
that.
to me because it's like, as far as I'm concerned, you ain't got your quirk no more. That mug fused with One for All. That's One for All now. That's why I'm just like,
But if they took it out of her hand after her hand was detached, like it's like why would that affect her actual body? You know?
I know Twitchy.
Yeah,
Don't you
that-
think he took Black Whip?
I think there's a
Wait.
possibility, but I wouldn't say there's a good chance of that.
I just thought of something.
Mm-hmm.
So we know that Nana Shimura gave All for One. I mean, One for All to All Might, and she died in front of All Might.
Why are you here?
By All for One. It's quite possible that the remnant of the float quirk, which was within Nana Shimura, got transferred to All for One, and because All for One has a lot of fucking quirks, he's probably kind of enhanced the float quirk back to whatever its basic state is, and that's probably why he's using it. But we also know that float manifested itself within One for All, and that's why he couldn't get One for All, because it was manifested within One for All and then passed down to Deku. So now Deku has One for All and float.
Out here spitting.
Out here
Straight
spitting, but I don't know. I guess to me it would just feel like they were just one in a whole. So it's like stealing one in particular. That just sounds weird to me. I guess.
I don't think
So-
anything was stolen, but I'll say that later. But yeah.
To counter that, Townzie,
Why? Why you say later? Why you can't just say now? But
No,
you
I'm
counter
trying
that.
to find something.
Yeah, you
I'm
got
trying
it.
to find something. So
You got it. The counter.
To counter that, Townzie, I'd say actually it's the next point that I was going to bring up. Also in 286, when Gigantomachia smells 2 cents, if All for One was a vestige and All for One, the quirk, was separate from Shigaraki and his decay quirk, I'm assuming that would have 2 different smells.
Yep, that's why he can smell both.
2 different masters.
So you said the 2 quirks will have 2 different smells.
Or the 2 masters, because I guess I'll ask you guys this question: because I saw this on a different stream today, and this is not how I took it originally, but in 286, when that like All for One head starts to peek out from behind Shigaraki's face, do you guys think that was an actual head of All for One, or do you think that was symbolic?
I think that's symbolic.
I took it that it. Okay.
Are you saying
that's what I wanted to talk about. No, Green can go.
Body costume?
I think he might be like a parasite because.
Yes.
I think it was symbolic.
Exactly. I've been
Yeah.
preaching this
Symbolic.
for years.
I think it was symbolic.
It has to be symbolic. I think it's symbolic. I don't think it's real.
Okay.
I feel like All for One's essence or his presence is so overwhelmingly strong that is probably why Gigantomachia was able to pick it up, because we saw earlier on, like a chapter before 285 or something like that, we saw when he was trying to take over Shigaraki. Like from 280 itself, we've been seeing how All for One's trying to take over Shigaraki. So I'm guessing Gigantomachia would have instantly recognized or sensed his presence, I guess.
That's how I seen it.
No, what's it called? I the parasite thing is one thing that
That
Like,
happened.
if-
That's my mind.
that's one thing, huh?
Yeah, like
That
if AFO was actually there, like I think that we would have seen a reaction from someone who actually could have seen it, not just.
I mean, he was only face to face with Deku in the air.
think
It's
it-
not like
Right, but Deku wasn't like AFO.
I think it told
Right,
us
like-
exactly like what it was,
If
like
he was
what
act-
it is. It's
If he was actually
consciousness.
there and Deku was actually seeing something beyond Shigaraki's face, then then I think it would have been spelled out. As it is, I think it is symbolic.
You know,
Okay.
after
And it was just-
so
I just
like
wanted to ask you guys that question
Yeah.
because when I first read it, I thought that was like an actual All for One face peeking out from behind Shigaraki, and I got goosebumps.
and then the
I think it was though.
I feel it, and that's what I was about to say. And to talk about like the parasite theory, that's one that I surely believed up until this very chapter. But
I still
I understand. That's what I was about to
No,
say.
you
What's
can
it
go,
called?
you
This what's it called? With this chapter, I think it kind of spelled us out specifically what it is that he is in there. It's that conscious. It's the he kind of just spelled it out. Like that's what he's been dealing with this whole time. The consciousness of quirks. That's his quirk's consciousness. That's All for One's consciousness. So it's like I did at one point. I did think it was parasite, but like now, nah. That's definitely just his conscious. He doesn't actually want to take over. You see him even as like Shigaraki's trying to break out of the what's it called? Like he's trying to overwill Deku and get out of the realm or whatever the fuck. He's like trying to push what's his face out the way too. All for One. He's trying to kill All for One too. He said, "Oh, you still trying to kill?" Like he's like, "You even hate me too." That's great. Good anyways. Better for the symbol of peace. I mean, symbol of
I didn't
chaos or whatever.
hear what you said. I lost connection.
That's unfortunate.
It was a symbol of fear, is what he called it.
Yeah, symbol of fear. Yes, chaos. Yeah, symbol of fear.
Portia's chaos.
What were you
But-
Not in the
saying?
manga.
But
Sorry.
it was a lot. You just gonna have to remain hurt.
My bad.
No, what was you about to say, Green?
I was trying to say, like, do you guys think All for One has his own separate vestige world? Which is something I'd written down earlier, which was that, so since All for One has a similar dreamlike realm, like One for All, I'm guessing his dream world, like you said earlier, he's constantly fighting against all the heroes that he killed and took their quirks. So do you think like his vestige world or his concept of the vestige world was more like a realm of dread and torment where he's like eternally fighting forever on and on and on and on? Unlike One for All's vestige world, which is like a mysterious dream world with like hope and shit where the users are aiding Deku.
I think they're exactly the same. I think that's what I was kind of saying. I think they're just consciousness. So it's like the reason they're in this quote unquote world is like maybe it is in their mind or something like that. But it's like it's just there's a bunch of consciousnesses. And then with All for One, since it was just one quirk, and then that quirk was given to Shigaraki, of course he has that consciousness in him as well. So like since All for One, I mean One for All was passed down to like 7-8 people or whatever. They could see, like Deku could see the consciousness. They couldn't before for whatever reason, but I mean they didn't unlock it like how Deku did. Like he broke the gate or whatever. However they said it. But he's the one that did that. So like now, of course, he can actually see their consciousness and stuff. But yeah, he's seen it before. We've seen how many times he's seen it. But All for One said he's basically gone through that so many times. And the only person that we have that can relate to that is Deku. So it's like I just at this point I think they're the same thing, and it's just a consciousness. Maybe this world is in their mind or something like that, but I think it's their I think I like this chapter a lot because of like that whole thing, because I think that's what it is, man.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I thought they had two different consciousness, like two different, like their own version of the vestige world.
Mm-hmm.
But because Shigi and Deku are touching in real life, that's why their collective consciousness kind of like connected into one thing.
That's why I think it was so like natural when they connected, because they're kind of the same thing. That's
They're
why.
all in the same.
Yeah, that's why I think it was like kind of natural. So it's like they'll go to the same. But that's why I say I can understand it if they were like different. Like All for One's was just like it was like fighting or whatever. But it's like also I mean he was already like he said he was already dealing with them anyways. He had to deal with their ghosts and everything. So like that's already something that he had to do. So it's like I think he kind of said it this chapter as well, like that he kind of gave a fuck. Like it definitely like it was something that like pained him. Like he even told himself, he's like, can I be emotional? I'm trying to pull it up right now. But
Can I feel guilt?
yeah, he was saying, can I like feel guilt? So it's like, yeah, I think that's him saying yes, he can feel guilt,
So
and eventually
I think,
he will, and that's why Shigaraki will. That's why he like wants Shigaraki, because Shigaraki's saying fuck all that guilt shit. I don't care. I want to destroy everything.
Exactly.
That's why he'll be the perfect vessel as opposed to All for One. You continue, Twitchy, my bad.
I've said this on multiple occasions. I don't know if I've ever shared it with any of you, but I do not view immortality as anything but a curse. And I really love this development in 286 to where, 287, sorry, where All for One is haunted by the consciousnesses of all the quirks that he stole, because technically all of them have a will within each one. So essentially, this gave character development to All for One that I was not expecting whatsoever.
Same.
Yeah.
I like it. That's why I like this chapter. Like that's how I was like, nah, this chapter is like my favorite from the last like fucking like 5. Like I love this chapter. This shit was clean. Like maybe it's because of my own head canon why I like this chapter so much, but it was hidden. I don't care.
Richie, that's why I thought that probably All for One had his own like dream realm where he's haunted by the people he's killed because they're like eternally spiting him.
And I think that's also linked to his endgame goal. I think he wants One for All, the quirk itself, so that he can have the power via the One for All like collective will.
Also, fuck it, we going to
banish.
the next topic, by the way, because that's the next topic. What is his goal? What is All for One's goal? Continue.
Yes. So I think All for One wants One for All so badly is that so he can use the power of One for All in this vestige world in order to rid all of the voices of the quirks that he does
Exactly
steal.
what I was gonna say. You read my mind, my
That's why I think that's my reasoning of why I thought he was like picking Shiggy for that specifically. It's just like because it's like he fuck them voices. He don't care.
Yeah. Yeah, no
Because it's
trouble.
like he already want to destroy everything. I don't give a damn about
Yeah.
y'all voices. I don't care. That's what I was thinking. But I do. That is another thing that I can absolutely get behind though. Another one.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. What All For One, as far as we know, he's always wanted power. We don't know exactly like the detailed reasons to why he wants power, but based on this chapter, we can make like good guesses. But Shiggy, on the other hand, doesn't give two fucks about All For
Not at
One's
all.
wishes.
Not at all.
He just wants to kill everybody.
I want to kill everybody, and then my friends can do what the fuck they want to do.
Pretty
And then
much.
really-
Togo's like,
quickly-
what about the stuff I like? Y'all can have what y'all like. Oh, bet. That's a real one. King Shiggy, baby. Continue. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say really quickly, I wanted to ask you guys if, and this is my own headcanon, but at this point in the story, I am making a distinction between All For One, the body with the copied All For One quirk, and the original All For One quirk with his original will.
that's what
I was doing exactly that before. I was doing exactly that before this chapter.
Mhm.
And now, as of this chapter, I'm doing the exact opposite.
All right, yeah, so that's my answer for the question.
I feel it. So you think that? So do you think? So you think he trying to take over?
Okay, when you say he, are you referring to All For One the quirk or All For One the person?
So you think?
Because I
so
think
you-
they are separate.
I feel it, but no, I just don't feel like they separate no more. I think he told it to us that he's a conscious, like he just like how he said he felt their consciousness. That's exactly what All For One is, right there in front of Shiggy.
So do you think the copied All For One quirk has a copied conscious, or if
No.
that's different?
I just don't. I mean, maybe he can feel other people. Like maybe if say he steals somebody else's quirk, I think he'll feel their conscience. If he steals somebody else's quirk, like how they do. But it's like I feel like that what we see right there, even all like the vestiges, right? How we call them vestiges, I think they all just consciousness. That's what I'm saying. That's why I like this chapter so much, because it's like if that's what that is, it was a mind blowing chapter.
Yeah, exactly.
I think all of those are consciousnesses.
Yeah, going off what you said, he copied All For One that All For One currently has. Probably is not even close to, like, I would estimate, let's say it's 50 less, around 50 or less than 50% of his original strength of the original All For One core, right? And so we also saw that in this chapter, Shigaraki was decaying people, like he was decaying Deku and All For One itself, All For One's consciousness that's within himself through sheer willpower of his rage. So if Shiggy can kill the original All For One consciousness that's been implanted into him without getting rid of the quirk, he will have like All For One says, become the true successor or become the symbol of fear. Because at that point, All For One is just nobody in his, like, he's just another pointless person in his way, and Shiggy's gonna decay him and just he's gonna be off. That's it. It's gonna be an over from there. And Shiggy gets to be the menace we know he's going to be.
Yeah, Shigaraki, he's just like how All For One wanted. I mean, basically be the complete chaos, dark lord
Exactly.
of My Hero, and that's why I personally think. Well, everybody kind of think, but I was thinking that this chapter specifically is basically foreshadowing the future of My Hero in general, because of the fact that Shigaraki, all this makes him want to do is, get even more hatred if he hasn't gotten enough, or it enough. And you have Deku being pretty conflicted in either trying to save Shiggy, stop Shiggy. We don't know exactly how this is going to end on his terms. And then, well, we'll get to that a little later, but the Toga stuff too, just the whole the philosophy or morals of characters might end up changing, or people are going to start questioning their own stance in society, whether they're a hero or villain or in between as a vigilante or anything or something like that. So yeah, that's why I think this chapter really, because when I first read it, I gave it like an 8.5 because I wasn't really comprehending everything that was happening in the chapter. But then once I reread it, I was like, okay, yeah, this is honestly a pretty groundbreaking chapter for the future of My Hero.
And then
I think it represents a paradigm shift for the entire series, if we're being honest, because if someone like Toga, and I know this was a comment on one of Townzie's videos, but if someone like Toga can ask that question of her comrades, and she's essentially asking it to the audience, but if that type of character can ask that type of question, what sort of doors does that open up for the series?
Mm-hmm.
And just to bounce off of that, I don't think she would have asked that if Twice hadn't died. Like if it had been anyone else in the league who died, it would not have affected her that way. But I think she was the right one to get affected by it. You know,
and especially since Twice was built up to be a quote unquote good guy among the villains.
You know what I'm saying? He's just mentally ill. He was somebody that needed saving. And nobody saved him. Just like nobody saved Shigaraki. Nobody saved Twice. Nobody tried to help him with his mental issues.
Yeah,
so it's
because Dobby and Spinner and Compress, they all are choosing to be there. They aren't mentally ill. They weren't really kicked out by society. They're choosing to be there. Like Toga was kind of the only one in that boat with Twice because of how her quirk, because of the urges her quirk gave her that she didn't know how to come to terms with in society, and her parents just forced that, like just made it impossible for her to do anything with and forced her into a corner.
Yeah.
So I don't think any other league member could be asking those questions.
Nope.
And that's why I hate to say this, Sharon, but I'm loving the Twice death more and more as time goes on, because of how it keeps reconnecting back to the past.
I was telling you, bro. I was telling you when it happened. I was like, no. I was like, this means too much.
I just didn't want my boy to die, man. So
I understand it. I can't be mad at you.
How can he still be alive?
I can't be mad at you.
Like,
but it's like it just means so much. I didn't see like the Toga shit happening, like how it happened, but it's like that shit matters, and it's like for the story it matters because of everything that happened with Hawks and like Dobby right before, like that shit just matters.
I mean, personally, and for me, even if my favorite character dies, they're just cemented as my favorite character. Like I'm not gonna like them any less. I still appreciate everything they added to the story. He will forever be my number one My Hero character, and that's that.
No, I feel it. That's young goat Twice, big young goat Twice. Nah, what's it called? Yeah, that's a top 5 chapter. That might be my second favorite chapter. That might be my second favorite chapter. But that you was wilding for 5%. That's why I was going so crazy. That's why I was like, nah, we can't do this. We take this back.
Yeah, I meant 0.5.
If we take this back, there's no, and it, dog, imagine now.
Like,
but no, look, imagine they take it back now. No.
Like
Oh no. Huh? You mean for like Toga?
I did like what Grin brought up earlier for the Vestige world with Toga and Twice. Like could still be really interesting. And then another thing that I've been thinking about along those similar lines is if All Might were to die, and then later on in the story, you just see Deku off in the corner, just kind of like talking to himself, like that would be chilling.
Talking to All Might. How you doing, All Might, bro? How's it going in there? How's death?
Like since All Might is still alive, I just don't see him dying like in the story in a meaningful way.
Yeah.
Like I see him just sticking it out. Like
You don't see nobody
just-
hitting a power driver on him?
it's
Doing the
probably,
Thor
it's probably
Loki?
a hot take.
I mean, Hulk Loki.
It's a hot take, but that's just where my
Nah,
mind is. If he
I was
was
kinda
going to
feeling like
die, it should have been at the it should have been at his last fight, because now he's just kind of there as a mentor to Deku, which is nice. But I don't see anyone coming after him since he's powerless now.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't know, man. Shigaraki still hates him. He hates the grandmother he never met. So
True.
I see All For One getting bodied
That was heavy.
as the casualty towards like either the end of this arc or before the first half of My Hero ends, where probably because like here's the thing, there were at least 4 regiments, right, of the Paranormal Liberation Front. The League of Villains are here, but the remaining members, we haven't seen all of them. We've seen one with Midnight, part of the Violet Regiment, I think so. That's the one Darby was in charge of, that was trying to kill Midnight. We haven't seen a bunch of the other ones. We've seen one fight against Kaminari way at the beginning of this arc, where Kaminari kind of blocked his electrical attack. But we haven't seen the rest of the majority of them. Plus, Reed Astro is currently fighting Edge Shot, so he's there. We have a lot of people we haven't actually seen much in the beginning of this arc. Like, there's a lot
I think
of
that's on purpose, though. I think Horikoshi is setting up the PLF to like rule over Japan, and this is like the post-time skip first look at these guys, and then afterwards it'll be like a redemption tour versus all these
like-
generals.
I said it as a comment on one of Townzie's vids, but I don't think the majority of PLF are actually going to be fighters and utilized to fight against the heroes. I think they're going to be utilized as normal citizens voicing against the Hero Commission and Hero Society after they lose to the villains here. That's where we're going to see the power.
They're gonna be the ones doing whatever the fuck they want to do.
And the riots, that's where the PLF is going to be the most utilized. That's where we're going to see Redestro shine, Skeptic shine.
Well, I was specifically just referring to the generals or like the sub-lieutenants that they showed in those mean double spreads.
Mm-hmm.
I think those will be like the main influencers, for lack of a better term.
So, 2 things I want to know. One is, earlier on in chapter, I'm guessing 280. I don't know for sure, but when Zero is like, this is immediately after Gigantomachia goes on his rampage and Darby sets the entire forest on fire. When Zero is with Setsuna, I think so, and Setsuna tells him that Monoma's squad hasn't been seen yet, and they don't know what's happening there with Monoma's whole thing. So that's one important thing, because there's like a bunch of students that went with Monoma. So they could be having their entire battle with maybe another Paranormal Liberation from General or something like that.
That's another reason.
That could be an entire thing. Or there could be the traitor over there secretly, which we haven't seen at all. Right? That could be a thing.
Those things like that are another reason I think this arc ain't even close to over.
If the traitor is just one of the random class Bs with Monoma, that's going to be a huge waste.
I agree.
A huge waste.
But we don't know. I mean, there could be somebody over there that we don't expect to be over there.
All Might and Nezu confirmed that there are no traitors amongst the students in chapter 257.
That's what they're thinking, but
Yeah.
I still believe Vlad King is the
they
traitor.
didn't confirm it.
Yeah, they came to that conclusion, but it's not.
I don't think it's Vlad King, and I don't think it's the students, but I do think it's one of the heroes. It could be somebody.
Faculty.
Somebody we're overshooting and we've not seen in a while. Secondly, we know that Gigantomachia has a lot of quirks, especially built on like all his quirks are meant for prolonging fights, for like endurance specifically. What do you think that means given the current situation we're in and the fact that Darby and Toga are on his back? As he's currently run through the 13th city out of the 21 cities he's going to run through. to get there.
I have my theory on Makia, but it's a little out there.
Just a tad. Just a tad. It's a bit futuristic. You know what I'm saying? It might be ahead of its time. So we've been talking about really good villains for a good little minute now. So what would y'all think it would take for them to switch sides? What would it take for them to rejoin regular society? In Shigaraki's case, I don't think it's possible. In most of their cases, I don't actually think it's possible. I think it's too late. But if we were to say the most extreme cases,
If Stain comes out and then makes a public announcement saying that what the League of Villains are doing is wrong, I can see some of the villains switching.
Yeah,
Switching
like,
sides. Not like joining
he would
heroes,
have to continue to be like an inspiration. But continue, my bad.
Yeah.
That could be
joining
Dobby's
heroes,
play,
but
to be
fighting
honest.
Villains, definitely. Like they'll be their own shit. They'll be their own thing over there. Not heroes, not villains. Stain followers.
Yeah, that's a possibility. I think that's just a possibility. I don't think Stain wants that, but I think
Okay.
it's something that could just happen.
Hold
you know
up,
what I'm saying?
hold
Whether
up.
he wants it or not.
Grin, have you read any of Vigilantes?
Some of it. I haven't caught
That's what
up,
we doing.
but yes, I have read some of it. I've read
Okay.
at least up to a certain link to the US.
Okay.
Hey, look at my YouTube comments, Twitchy. I think somebody might have commented a spoiler on that motherfucker.
Oh,
I
well,
think-
I will. I'll take a look at that after tomorrow.
Yeah,
When I read the rest of the chapters. But
yeah,
what I was gonna
about to
say
'cause
is
you're reading
that
tomorrow.
what I was gonna say is that Stain could definitely be the face of the quote unquote third party based on what happens in Vigilantes. And Dobby could be the mastermind behind the scenes since he was the one that was following Stain's ideology from
That would be such a crazy twist. But I feel like Dobby's like borderline psychotic. So like
Oh,
that could happen.
Borderline. Yeah, I'm like that man crazy. Just like his whole fucking family. Insane.
No, that's really cool, incorporating Stain into like his, I guess, proposal for a new society, and that would allow a lot of people to re-enter as kind of like vigilantes.
I
so
mean,
not
it was a lot of-
necessarily citizens.
It was a popular video online, and people liked it. You know what I'm
That
saying?
too.
So it's like regular people liked it. So it's like if he comes back, he could absolutely become influential. I think it'll be a big thing of him not wanting to, but I don't think he'll have a choice in the matter.
Based on what Charles said, I'm gonna throw a fishing rope into this awesome discussion that we're having. Just a bait, a small bait over there, and see what it grabs. The fourth user, who we know half details on and not anything about the way he died at all, that All Might was talking about. Vigilante?
It's possible. I think it has more so to do with his quirk than his personality, but I could be wrong.
You definitely got a major spoiler, Townzie. I just looked at the comment.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yep.
I thought
Sorry.
so. It be like that sometimes.
Yep.
Come on, guys.
Hey man, listen. Not everybody can type in Townzie. My
Spoiler
Hero
for
City
what?
Vigilantes.
Vigilantes.
I just sent you a
Portion.
screenshot of it, Twitchy.
Have I got to this yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think one of the easiest people to rejoin society could potentially be Compress.
Compress?
If we just knew more about him.
That's about to be my thing.
Because we don't even know his motives, but he doesn't. It almost seems like he's just there because he's bored and wants to have fun. Like if he ever feels like he can have more fun elsewhere, he's gonna go there. If he thinks the other side is gonna win, he's going to go there. Like I feel like Compress is always gonna find a way to come out on top. So I could definitely see him rejoining society at the end, especially because he really hasn't done any of the major things, you know. When you look at the havoc wreaked by most of the LOV members. So I think that he has a good chance of it. Toga, I would like. I'm really curious to see how her conversation goes with the Deku and Ochako. Like, but I could see her. I could see her potentially leaving them for a little bit to try and figure out things on her own. But I think she would have a hard time rejoining with, like, society would not want to accept her. You know?
She would join that staying group.
I think she could rejoin. Honestly, I think she could. Like Twice, I think Twice could rejoin if they were quirkless.
Well, of course we know they could, like, if they wanted to, but like, what would take them to? What would get them to? What's some like
a friend or family?
I feel like Toga's at a point where she needs some sort of definite reasoning to convince her that, well, she knows that I'm pretty sure both Darby and Toga are self-aware to the fact that they're killing people doesn't make them great people, so they're self-aware in that sense. But I feel like when she asked to what end, that is obviously what you guys had mentioned about the whole thing about, you know, Twice's death and heroes not living up to their principles as such. But I also feel like when she says that she, depending on her conversation with Deku and Ochako-chan, that's probably something that is kind of like, she's probably wondering maybe a kind of definite reasoning that she probably needs to figure things out in her head, like what is right, what is not right, and that kind of scenario.
So, quick question I want to ask you guys. Do you think that if Toga reaches a mental low point that she could be reaching with the developments in this chapter, that she would ask Shigaraki to take away her quirk?
No.
No, I don't see it going.
I think she loved what she did.
She started to love it.
Like,
I don't think she liked it in the beginning.
What she wants.
I think she did. I think she loved it. Always. It's what she do. She liked to taste blood. She even kind of said it. She said she liked to taste different types of blood.
Well, yes, because she has the quirk. But what I'm suggesting is
I was answering Portia.
What was that?
I was answering Portia.
Oh, okay. I was asking that because if that urge to drink blood that she has, which coincided with her quirk, if that could be taken away by Shigaraki, because we know that All For One traded quirks back in the day. So if she got something else that might allow her to re-enter society, I could see that as a way of her being reincorporated.
I could see it as a way. I just couldn't see her going that way. I couldn't see her mentally going that way.
I don't see her asking Shigaraki for that, but I could see her possibly trying to get one of those quirk erasing bullets and just taking care of herself.
Ooh,
if that makes sense. Like, I would see that over her going to Shigaraki and asking. She's not the kind to ask for permission.
I can't see either of those.
Well, I wouldn't say permission. I would say more so help, because he has the quirk that can take away her pain.
I can't see her happening. I don't think she in pain.
Okay.
That's all. I feel it, but it's just like what's it called?
I mean, she's in pain probably over Twice, but that's about it.
Yeah,
I feel like we're seriously underestimating the fact that Shigaraki actually cares for the League of Villains. He's not Darby. Yeah,
oh, absolutely.
He's not like Darby.
You know, Portia
cares for the League of Villains.
No, I'm talking about. I didn't know if he still cared after his awakening.
He does. He definitely does.
I mean, that before his surgery, he did care.
Consciousness and stuff.
I was say
he has his consciousness.
He's not currently sane. He just has. Yeah, I'm saying. You got another consciousness.
I'm asking, like, does he still have does he still have emotional attachment? Like, All Might's emotionally attached to Deku because of the quirk, but like than that,
he called Makia and told him to bring the League with him. So yes.
That doesn't mean he's attached.
Why would he
wouldn't
not
say that?
Why would he
care about anyone else?
Why would he say that after he dusts an entire city?
I'm just saying.
After he does an entire city, he's like, "Hey, yo, bring my homies." You know what I'm saying? All right, cool. But
I'm just saying, like, I wonder what changed. I feel like something changed mentally besides, even though I got cut out and like missed the whole section. But I do think he changed, like Deku mentally, I think changed when they got All for One or One for All. I think it does mentally change you.
Well, yeah, that was
Emotionally.
confirmed this chapter, that each quirk that a new holder receives, it alters their psyche.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was like, I wanted the Shigaraki still see them as companions and not tools.
I would say yes.
He already had it by that time, so yes, he.
But it was activated before the, before he went under to his cocoon and stuff. Was
Oh
it
wait, no,
activated?
I'm thinking about I'm thinking about All for One having a copy. All for One's had a copy for a long time, not Shigaraki's had it. But it's just, so what that is All for One's consciousness inside, like, of that quirk. That's what it was basically explaining. His consciousness is there. So
I mean, I know
it's
that.
like
I said that
Shigaraki
chapters ago, and you guys called me crazy.
I'm glad you let me finish my fucking sentence. Anyways. Is his consciousness in there, and his consciousness maybe his consciousness is like, hey, you don't care about your friends, but just like, why? So what? There's no goal behind that. So it's like,
well, even if the All for One conscious,
I just don't see none of that
is
happening.
trying to steer him in that direction, he is literally fighting All for One in the Vestige world. So whether or not All for One thinks that or is trying to persuade Shigaraki of that, Shigaraki's gonna push him out.
I don't think he's fighting All for One. I think it was just. I think it's just how All for One said it. He's like, oh, you hate me now? Great. You know what I'm saying? He hates him. It's just like, but it's not like you can't get rid of it. You can almost spoil something for y'all. But it's what's it called? It's like I just don't think it's like you can't get rid of it because it's his consciousness. You can't. It's not something you can get rid of. Oh yeah, do your thing. But I just think that since I just think this is consciousness, like, it's just not gonna go away ever. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I'm going on a slight tangent real quick.
Go ahead. Slight.
So slight. So like this chapter, how we seen about the wills and who has the strongest will at a certain time, you know, for a specific reason and stuff. I feel like this could kind of connect to the fourth user in the future. Because a lot of us are speculating, it's probably like something about that has to do with his quirk that All Might scratched out, or it's because of his will. And I'm starting to think it's most likely going to be about the will, his will specifically, and it might be a problem for Deku. I don't know. It's just a thought.
You think? You mean whose will?
The fourth user.
Oh, the fourth user. Yeah, the fourth user.
Like,
Do you think
problematic or something?
What was that?
I said it's probably going to be like problematic for him.
It could
something.
be, because
I was gonna say, like, if that was a part of him mastering or completing the quirk, I think is what Daigoro said, would him having to overcome the fourth users. The only issue that I have with it being the reason why All Might scratched out the fourth user's information is because, logically speaking, say that the fourth user was either a vigilante or at the very least a person obsessed with power.
Mm-hmm.
With All for One being a quirk that you can only pass down by choice, why would he pick a fifth user who, by all intents and purposes, up until this point in the story, seems to align with the other users?
Because they could have been lying about who they were.
Who would have been lying?
I don't know. Whoever you're talking about, the fourth or fifth.
The fifth, right?
Maybe because he reached a point where he realized that his goal was no longer needed, and before he could find a new goal, he died. So he was like, "Oh shit, maybe this dude is worthy. Let me at least tell him something I know before I go."
Hard to get that backstory.
Dies in accident and has to give it to somebody. You know what I'm saying? That's just around. That motherfucker just might end up being selfish.
Yeah, it might not even be by choice. It's just like, okay, he's there. I have no fucking nothing to do, so I have to give it to him.
And just because you give it to somebody doesn't necessarily.
Give it up? If he's being selfish with the quirk as, like, quote unquote an evil avatar, why would he give it up?
I mean,
You're assuming
why do
he's
characters
selfish.
characters change? we don't know the character at all.
Yeah, I think the fourth user probably isn't selfish. He's just obsessed with power for probably another goal that wouldn't seem like morally okay with being the hero, meaning like he'd be willing to do anything to get said power, but we don't know the justification for why he's so obsessed with power. That's the thing we don't know. We don't know if his intentions are good or not. We just know that we can assume that the way he went about doing things is probably not really hero-like.
It's very possible. I agree with that.
I can see that point. I just, with the developments in this chapter, I guess my head is kind of pointing in one direction with the Quirks essentially having like a will of their own. So the way that I'm thinking of it, it's not like A to B, it's actually B to A, whereas the quirk that he had was an influencer on his personality. So it wasn't that his personality was affected by his quirk, it was that his quirk affected his personality.
I see what you mean, and it's like, that's why I was like, even before when I was saying it, this chapter just made me feel the exact opposite. I felt the exact opposite before coming into this chapter, and this chapter made me feel the exact opposite of what you're feeling right now. That's hilarious.
Going on that itself, we know that the fifth user is Black Orb. The seventh user is obviously Nana Shimura. We don't know the sixth user, but we know that the details about the sixth user's power, as well as the way that he died, was written down. But when it comes to the fourth user, we don't know all the details, as well as the fact that we don't know that how he died. So my guess was, I had two things in mind when I was rereading the chapters and writing this down. The first is, all the way back in 257, when Aizawa was told All Might to delay seeing Stain, my thought was, why would All Might want to go see Stain unless maybe the details about the fourth user has something to do with Stain? Maybe he's a descendant, maybe he has some sort of information that he knows. Second, the conversation All Might had with Bakugo, like in 285 realized that One for All is a cursed power, so maybe One for All actually has some sort of critical flaw, something like that makes, like, maybe the user has to be alone or face things by themselves, or maybe the amount of power that a person gets reduces their lifespan, or maybe the user has to actually die to defeat All for One. So those are two things I was seriously thinking about, and I want to know what you guys think.
I brought that up last podcast.
Yeah.
I think that his quirk is a bloodbending quirk.
Yeah, he did. He said exactly that last podcast.
Yeah. And I think that All Might is essentially scared of it, because if Deku were to get in rage mode and lose control of a bloodbending quirk, could you imagine how horrendous that could go? If he's fighting Shigaraki, he sees like maybe Gran Torino die. Hypothetically, if the fourth user's quirk was bloodbending and it showed up in this area, if that bloodbending got out of control and Deku never had any sort of training with it, he could break the bones of all of his comrades. He could
fuck himself up. But then, like, imagine that's how the fourth one killed itself, and imagine that. Yeah, imagine. Because of like One for All.
I actually feel like the fourth user's quirk might be the opposite. Like, I had a thought when I was writing this that maybe the fourth user's quirk was, instead of doing something extremely damaging, maybe it was something that repaired stuff or healed or something like that. But because of circumstances probably at the time, the way things were, he had to go and do things that ordinary heroes wouldn't do.
That's exactly what I was saying on the last podcast, that the fourth user's quirk could heal him, and Deku is already self-sacrificial to a fault, and therefore a healing quirk would just push Deku that much further to break his body even more.
Oh boy, that's the last thing he needs.
I kind of like typed in like the chat like a twist to it. So like maybe it feeds off like other life force. So like it heals, right? But like you have to kill to heal. So like it feeds off things around it.
Like cellular acceleration.
That's actually would be a good reason why he would scratch it out too. All Might.
So like you heal, but like, well,
I don't know if I agree with that. Just because I feel like Deku, being the quirk nerd that he is, he would find a way, A, either not to use it, or B, to use it in a way that no one else has thought of.
I think it's still a risk though, a big risk.
yeah, but like,
But
what
that's
if
the
it
only way I
just
can see him
activates on its own? Like it's just like so.
Yeah,
like Deku's in a life-death situation. That's what's like. Bakugo may pop up with a quirk. Like we don't know. Like Endeavor may pop up with a quirk. You know, just to keep them alive in the story. But like, you know, when you're gravely injured, your body will do what it needs to survive. It will override your any moral you have. So that like the fourth quirk could be activated in this battle. So
What if the
Or
fourth
aftermath.
user's quirk? What if the fourth user's quirk is similar to Shinso's, in the sense like how Shinso's quirk is brainwash? What if his quirk is more like controlling the will of somebody else?
It's
Bloodbender.
I don't. Y'all, this man about to be broken. He's man. I think.
I mean, it may be attached to Deku's mental state because we have yet to see him like fully lose control. So maybe the fourth quirk is active. We don't know.
Well, there's I don't know if I've actually seen this theory or if this has just been in my head.
Both.
But we'll see if you guys have heard of this. But the 6 quirks that Deku will awaken, not including One for All, of course, will all be tied to primary emotions.
Oh, like
Yeah.
what is that called? The sins?
Yeah.
Is it the 7 sins?
Well, not the
What
not
is
the
that
7
called?
deadly sins. I'm talking about like the basic emotions. There's like happiness, regret, despair, like sadness. I forget the other ones, but
Yeah, emotions
like-
out of sin.
It's like
Grief,
20
anger.
emotions.
yeah. So anger that has to deal with Black Whip. They've sort of
Saving.
theorized that Float has to
Ah.
deal with sadness
Oh no.
because Nana had to leave her child, and also when
So it's
Deku
All Might's
saw-
regret.
It might be.
I'm
Well,
a-
no.
I think
He's
I'm
not
a hard.
included.
I think I'm a hard disagree.
Not for the All Might point or for like this emotions thing.
The emotion thing,
Okay.
because it's like they choose the successor. they choose. That's. You know what I'm
Maybe
saying? they choose the successor.
Maybe each Twitchy tweak it. Maybe each like quirk like each quirk not represents, but like each user represents a fault in humanity. So like All Might's fault was like his heart was way too big for him to stop.
So All Might chose Deku because of his fault.
Well, I would say that's the similarity of the self-sacrificial nature of the One for All users. The
Yeah.
reason why I brought up the different emotions, I don't know if you guys remember back to, I think it was around the joint training arc, to where there was a picture of a padlock door representing the One for All power being held behind it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there were different locks. So I'm theorizing that each of those locks is essentially unlocked by different emotions.
Oh man, he unlocking
mean,
chakra.
See, I agree with that, but
He's unlocking
I think
chakra. It's Naruto.
There's no aliens.
Jeez.
Stop that.
she's just being a fucking weirdo. So, nah, I just kind of agree with that, but
Okay,
it's like
I-
it's to a point
you know,
where
I-
I would. It's
I
to a
was
point
not
where I
gonna
would
go
think that
there this
what's it
time,
called?
Gucci. I was not gonna go there, but I'm here for this energy you're giving, Townzie. Appreciate that.
Huh? I'm just saying that, like I lost my train of thought. But
Sherm out here fever dreaming. It's okay.
no, what's it called? I think it's possible. I just think if it's awakening and it has to do with some type of emotion, it's an emotion that they felt strongly like about, but it's like I don't think that I don't think they like represent anything at all. Just specifically because it's like they chose the successors because like of how
Yeah.
good they would work with the quirk. But it's like for their portion of the quirk to be brought out with the emotion of type of thing that they felt the most, that would make a lot of sense.
Yeah,
I think
that's what more so what I was getting at.
I think it may resemble a fault. So like I feel like each user had like a major fault was like their fall. So like Achilles' heel.
I mean, everybody got flaws.
Yeah, but I think like each one for all user we have seen so far seem like they were like a very prominent hero. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like their Achilles heel is like which unlocks the next power. So like Deku met Nana's Achilles heel, her family. So that unlocked her power.
You and me shit out of fucking black. We not a black whip. Nothing happened. Nothing.
Nothing happened? It's been so long. Like maybe something did. Like maybe it was an anger, and like I don't know.
They wanted to.
No, maybe each of the users had a regret and a desire for the future.
See, Grin out here spitting, bro. Grin's
and
like
that manifested as some sort of emotion.
Spitting is a word.
Hold on. You did mention that as like a manifestation of their will. I think that was dropped in either 286 or 287. So that could tie into the different locks that lock the power away.
See, that's what I was going to say.
Yes, Grin, spit that knowledge. Spit it, King.
Well, again, that's what I said. But, all right, you got it.
You did too, Townzie.
All right, you got it.
We all have we have kings in this.
I forgot you couldn't. You know what I'm saying? The reading might go along with the hearing too. You know what I'm saying? You just might be going along with your eyes.
Everything's going, bro.
That's it. You gave the base food. I just did some sprinkles and stuff. That's it. You gave
bro,
the
bro, Grin, don't worry about it. It's still a complete meal. Let's get it. Still a complete meal.
Speaking of complete meal, we go into the complete next topic. Our heroes gonna start killing. Heroes gonna start killing now.
Yes.
Is it gonna become the norm?
What are you talking about?
They're gonna have to.
They're gonna do. Are they gonna start? Shut up. Are they gonna start doing it publicly? Are they gonna start?
Yeah.
Are they gonna start broadcasting it to the actual? Can I finish the fucking goddamn question? Damn. Are they gonna actually like start broadcasting it out there that this is what they're doing, that this is how the hero society is now? We kill villains. Is that what they're gonna start doing?
Merkin. Body cam.
We know what you want.
So,
we know what you want.
Your society still exists.
Personally, if heroes do start killing villains all this way and that way, and we lose the barrier of like if the line between hero and villain goes away, I think we're gonna lose a lot of like it's gonna make the entire story muddy. You're not gonna have morals anymore if they can still be a hero and kill. Like I think it's just gonna complicate and muddy everything. I'm not gonna like I personally will not enjoy the story as much anymore if that's where it's headed.
Sherm, I have a quick question for you on that. I agree 100%. However, what if they solve that by using a time skip to go to a different country, and all they hear are the rumblings of the killing heroes back home while they're strengthening up?
Okay, but at that point,
so they go back for revenge. They ain't heroes.
Well,
no. To solve the problems of the broken society.
I mean, by killing them, that's getting revenge. That's as far as I'm concerned.
No, not killing the heroes.
Twitchy.
Villains.
Here, my thing is, if they go back to, if there are heroes who stay not killing and go back to the society, and the heroes who kill are shown to be villainous and not heroic, then I think it's fine. But if we start saying that the heroes are still the good guys and they're still killing people, that's where the issue is.
No, I think there would definitely be a separation between the two, and that would tie into like the old guard and the new guard, and then it would also allow for the fact for the students, like Stain brought up, that the majority of heroes in the current society are frauds.
But I don't think that like they're frauds without killing, so they're not heroes. Like they're
frauds because they like greedy and shit. Like
there is no way to be a hero and kill. You cannot have both, in my mind.
Yeah, overall.
No, I agree. I'm just being a devil's advocate for this whole scenario.
I don't know. I think you can. You could be a hero and kill.
No, you can't.
There's probably very minimal people that ends up going that far. like personal, like people that have kind of personal, somebody that wants like redemption or something, or say for example, if Dabi ended up killing Endeavor, and then Shoto wants to get some kind of revenge for that or something. There's only going to be like very few people. It would not be
Right.
heroes in general, but it may kind of seem like that, like to the public. And
Tokoyami.
I mean, I'm just saying, Vaughn. I mean, like Endeavor has that coming. Like, and if Endeavor dies by Dabi, I will be upset, but I will be completely fine
Well,
with it.
but that
I
doesn't
say
make
it.
Dabi a hero.
Oh no, I don't think Dabi's goal is to be a hero.
Right,
I think,
but the topic is, will heroes start killing villains?
Yeah.
yeah,
That's so.
that's
so
what I'm
the
trying to
Dabi
say. Like, I
villain
think
doesn't matter.
we can't make a hero moral because, like, by all means, like, someone killed Hitler. Does that make them a hero because they still murdered someone?
Hitler killed Hitler.
Yeah.
I'm just using as like an analogy. So like if someone killed Hitler, I know Hitler like OD'd in a bunker, but
So-
like
No, I mean, so if you're asking me if I think the nigga that killed Osama is a hero, like, you know what I'm saying? No. I mean, he definitely helped, you know what I'm saying, a lot of motherfuckers out with that, you know what I'm saying? But like a hero to some, killer to some. But a hero,
Wherever you go,
so it's the same
wherever
thing
you
with
go,
heroes.
you're either seen as a hero or villain. It's only dependent on the perspective that you're seeing.
yeah,
it from.
there you go.
Yeah,
It's a
I mean
perspective
Townzie,
thing.
you know Berserk, like that whole thing.
I mean,
So,
that's in a lot of things.
yeah.
So I don't think the heroes are going to kill the villains.
no,
I can't see that happening. One, because like Sherm said, it would make the plot and personally, I feel like the world building of the series would fall apart because they've already built up like kind of visible lines to what would allow it and not let it break, and then what would definitely break the series. I don't see the heroes killing the villains. At least I don't see any of our main cast killing the villains at all. I just can't see that happening.
Okay.
I don't know about all of Hero Society as a whole. There may be a few exceptions which might happen. We don't know.
It's just like, as far as me,
the thing that you guys raised up about the future, oh man. Shyam, do you remember what we talked about last week in Discord? About the future of the
okay.
series based on the comment?
Yeah.
What I wrote down?
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah, I was about to say it has been a long, rough week for me, but yes, I remember.
Prayers
As
for that.
Portia said, I'm still partly in a fever dream right now.
Yeah, I was like, Sherm's in his fever dream. It's all right. We love you.
So,
But yeah, I have a quick question though. Quick question.
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
didn't mean to
Finish
cut
your
people out, but like quick
Yeah, you
question.
did. That's crazy.
But so what do you guys think the next chapter will be? Like, do you think Shigaraki will like keep fighting or not? Because I feel like that plays a key part in his next option. Because if a hero sees like, okay, your number one quote unquote hero is down, a student just got penetrated, Deku has no arms.
Phrasing.
he got legs.
What he did? He got like he got stabbed like 3-4 times. Bakugo got stabbed. And like,
So-
it's really bad. So like, if a hero had that shot, and Azawa just cut his leg off, and he may not even have his quirk. So if you had that shot, would you kill Shigaraki? If you had that shot, would you kill Shigaraki as a hero? And you seeing how everything goes, I don't know.
I brought
Rock
this
might
up-
just pull out a Glock, bro. He might just pull out a Glock and just go bam, bam.
Why'd you have to? Why'd
You
you,
ain't
have to put
you
that
ain't
on
ne-
Rock Lock's name?
You ain't never killed a nigga, so
I personally would say no, but I'd be lying through my ass if I said that there are people who wouldn't do it. Because I'm pretty sure amongst the heroes, there are some of them definitely do want to kill Shigaraki. Like they might be losing their mind for sure.
killing
But I personally-
killing a person is just a lot easier said than done. As it's you know.
Yeah, it's easier to say and then
That's a
actually
high
come to it because that
emotion,
shit is
bro.
hard.
Well, especially when your whole professional life has been
Exactly,
the rules don't kill people.
Hello.
Exactly.
I don't know. Endeavor might pull that trigger, bro.
That's
Endeavor is knocked
that's why it
out.
matters.
The only trigger
So that's
he's
why it's
pulling is
like-
the one on his sleep number.
So that's like why it's like with me and Sherm. If you out here killing your enemies, you ain't no fucking hero. You just doing what you want to do. What you mean? That's
what I'm
why me and
saying.
Sherm disagree.
Very
and
minimal
then
people.
Snape's gonna get in jail,
I agree with
period.
Vontae. I don't think it'll be as widespread as, say, like the entirety of the remaining heroes that stay in Japan after all of this, because I do think that we're going global after this saga. But
Globalism. Yes.
with that being said, even if it is only a handful of heroes, it's still the whole sour apple of the bunch situation, to where all of Hero Society, the rest of it will just collapse upon itself because a few individuals are taking out personal vendettas against the villain side.
And I think it's
I'm
bound to
just
happen.
saying, if you had to
One or
kill
two
one to
people.
save 1,000, would you do it?
I don't know about this whole
Would you-
philosophical question.
that's what I'm
It's-
saying.
it's
That's what
late,
I'm saying.
but-
You don't. You not only you hitting it with a philosophical question. It's not a would. It's not a would you. It's a could you. You don't even know if you could kill somebody. You ain't never fucking killed nobody. You know what it takes to kill somebody.
There are levels to the shit. It's like logically that would make sense, but
Yeah.
it's not so simple as that. It's so many layers that go on to this entire question where it's like it's not easy to say that I'm gonna kill one dude to save thousands of lives. Because like
I mean,
if
You
yeah,
just
but-
you just thinking of killing is killing. There's a lot to it. There's a lot
I
to
know
killing.
it's a lot to it, but like
What's
if
your
they
token?
let, I mean, yeah, but like if you let Shigaraki go, you think Shigaraki he's already killed people? Are you going to let all those people die? I mean, that's what's going through their heads right now. Of course, you don't
And
want to kill
I've-
everybody.
I've brought this up before, and I know Sherm disagrees with me on this point, but I feel so long as Deku does not kill anyone but Shigaraki, he can still be considered the greatest hero of all time.
I
Because
don't agree with you there.
And that's fine, but there's got to be an All for One or a Shigaraki exception. All Might made that same choice to kill All for One. He thought he had killed All for One. And we can discuss whether that was a good thing or a bad thing in terms of the ethical side. But as Portia brought up with the question, would you kill one person to save 100,000, 1,000,000? If Shigaraki has the type of power that we've seen him to have at this point in the story, he can literally dust a city in seconds. 10,000 people, 100,000 people, depending on the population.
Oh god, this is good. For me
If there's
personally, I
a
would
way
say
to
that-
handle it without killing, that's the way.
Yeah, if there's a way,
should
then
do
yeah.
it.
I'm not saying
Yeah,
there
yeah.
isn't, but
But
I'm
it's-
just saying that if it comes down to it, and like say his mom is behind him for this hypothetical scenario, I feel like Deku would have to pull the trigger. He wouldn't.
If Deku pulls that trigger, he will never be the greatest hero in my mind. I don't
Nope.
care what he does afterwards. It's
Jeez, y'all are harsh.
What you mean?
I
What do you
feel like-
mean? Heroes
I
don't
feel like
kill?
the way things
I
are
agree.
going now-
This is my
Shit,
personal
for real?
viewpoint
I
currently.
think
I
you're
could
on
eventually come over
That's
to
fine.
the side to where he only maims Shiggy, but it just gets to a certain point to where like, where do you draw the line? And I know that that was the same line that Toga had in this chapter, but
This is a great question.
yeah,
Yeah, same line that Stain talks about. So
I'm gonna go with option number 3, which is I would take down Shiggy without killing him if it cost my life.
but how would you take him down? That's my question.
How is a different process? That would be
Because
the simple steps in-
Shigaraki could like technically die, and then All for One would just be like, oh, pull out this quirk.
That's why there's a lot of planning and stuff to be done, and like you said, like it's there's a lot of events
wait,
leading up to it. But then if there is a way where I could take him down and not have to kill him, but at the same time save everybody and not lose everybody, that's the option I would take.
well, that could
Unless
also lead into
people-
what'd you say, Portia?
I was gonna say like, okay, I know you hate Full Metal Alchemist, but I just remembered when Greed was talking. Remember when Greed died, and they kept like lighting Greed on fire?
okay. So
Or
you
was
just
that
spoiled
lust?
Townsy?
Oh, I thought he watched it.
No, he has not. He said repeatedly he hasn't.
Shut up.
And yes, you know exactly what I'm gonna
Y'all
say
can go.
because we
so sorry.
we know you don't fucking read. We know you don't read. You don't read My Hero.
anyways,
You don't read the Discord. None of that.
So
I think she said the wrong
You don't
person,
read
too.
the room. You don't do none of that.
so sorry.
so anyways,
Definitely a great question though. Where do you draw the line?
I would definitely feel like that would be in line with Deku's character to be the self-sacrificial type. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time saying that tonight.
He's a martyr, basically, right? A martyr.
Yep, he's basically a martyr, and he becomes the greatest hero because he was able to stop Shigaraki somehow. And I know that Horikoshi, whether he admits it or not, I know that he's a huge Avatar fan. And
Yeah.
is there anyone in here who has not seen Avatar?
No, I've seen it.
Oh no,
Okay.
It's
I
been too
didn't
long.
watch all of
It's been too
Korra,
long.
but
You gonna have to hold
Okay,
these. You gonna have to hold
so-
these spoilers. It's Avatar.
Okay,
You gonna have to
so-
hold these.
at the end
sorry.
at the end
I'm not
of
talking to you.
Avatar, Aang
Mhm.
was able to take away Lord Ozai's bending. If
Yeah.
Deku could use, say, One for All and the bloodbending quirk to somehow take away Shigaraki's quirks, all of them, and just leave him as like a man for the rest of Hero Society to deal with, that would indeed be the greatest hero of all time because you stopped All for One.
Yeah.
That'd be dope.
And Shigaraki is still alive to pay for his crimes.
Yep,
Yeah.
I'll do it.
There you
Yeah.
go.
All right, there we go.
That's exactly what we're saying.
Push up.
That's your
He
hands.
can be alive for that.
Push up. In what you asked, what do I think will happen in the next 1 or 2 chapters? I think, first of all, when Giganto
I was
arrives
just
on-
being hypothetical. I was just throwing
She-
stuff out of there.
She
Yeah,
just
it's
wanted to
fine.
change the fucking topic for some ass reason, even though
No,
we had
I
one.
I didn't mean. I'm leaving.
Okay.
I'm leaving.
No, well, listen, you actually made a top 5 for this week, so you can't leave because you
I
actually.
did.
Oh no.
Oh,
Not
my
again.
God.
It's already been 2 hours. Y'all still want to do a top 5?
I'm good. I got tomorrow off.
Yeah, I
What
have.
top 5?
I'm here for it.
What
I
are y'all
bet.
talking
course.
about?
Of course.
She's. I don't know how are you acting like you don't know what we talking about.
I thought my short-term memory was bad.
that's not short-term memory. It's just fucking playing. Like that's
I'm
exactly
not
what it
playing.
is.
The only thing I remember is the OST one.
What the fuck
Right.
you talking
You know,
about?
the top
the
5.
top 5
That one.
openings and endings.
You
Oh.
copied and pasted in the chat right here.
You actually talked.
I thought you were talking about the one we've been doing, like the character one. That's why I was like, wait, what?
What are you talking about?
I'm
Yeah.
talking about the last
Okay.
one.
Well,
Yeah.
Why would I talk
I'm
about last
confusing
time
stuff.
this
Leave it alone. I'm
transition?
confusing stuff.
So the top 5 this time is openings and endings. Shermania, your number 5, or if you have any honorable mentions.
All right, so I don't have an honorable mention this time, but number 5 is Odd Future by Overworld, which is opening number 4. And really, it's only in here because the full version has some really, really sweet saxophone in it, and I love it.
Nah, that is a really. I'm gonna play little snippets of the song for the stream. So
Yeah.
y'all unfortunately can't hear it. I'm sorry. I'm not really sorry.
But, man,
But y'all
like,
unfortunately can't hear it. But you know what I'm saying? Playing little snippets for the stream. You feel me?
I know it's a pretty controversial pick from other from people talking about OOPs that I've seen, but like the full version with the sax, it is so good. I like it.
Music
I like
video
it.
is trippy though.
Yeah.
Full versions of songs do be it. Though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's dope as hell. What is that? Opening
Opening-
4?
Opening 4, yeah.
Yeah, opening
Odd
4.
Future, Overworld, and Overworld also.
I lost my list. Where the
did-
fuck is my list? Here it is.
I think Overworld also did Promised Neverland opening.
They did.
Yeah.
That is indeed a slap, a banger, my good friend. Mr. Twitchy, your number 5. Or honorable mentions.
All right, I do have one honorable mention. It's Because You're My Hero by Lisa. It
Which
is
one?
ending 3, the
Okay.
medieval one.
Hey!
Arashi or something.
Yeah, Tate Atashi no Hero.
I love it not only because it's a jam and because it's Lisa, but because it is also a reference to the character poll fantasy color page that Horikoshi made.
Yeah, that was one of the best panels of the character poll. That was awesome.
That was hidden.
Yeah,
I used that last week like a motherfucker. Actually, I used it. Yeah. But
all right, and then my number 5 is Heroes by Brian the Sun, which is the first ending of the series where Deku is running across the beach, following that shooting star. Not only do I love the song, I think it's a bop, but Horikoshi, because he is the clever motherfucker that he is, he gives Jiro's dad, who is a rock star, a quote in the manga that says, "All Might, his daughter's teacher, is rocking like Brian the Sun." So a little Easter egg in there for
That's
you,
dope.
for anyone who didn't know.
that's dope because nobody knew that shit.
Loved it.
That was which one was that? That was the opening one. You mean ending one? You said
Yep, ending one.
ending uno. Mr. Vante, in number 5 on honorable mentions.
No honorable mention this time, but my number 5 is gonna be opening 6, Polaris. That's how you pronounce it, right?
Hey, opening 6 was a bob.
You already know, got my boy Mirio in there. Full versions, clean. The only reason why it's not higher is because the visuals, like, I don't know, I liked it, but I don't know, I wish it was different. Like they chose certain like different things for the visuals alongside the song, but the song is about. So yeah.
That's crazy. I love the visuals. Like when, bro, I love the visuals in that, man. That's we gonna get, we gonna, huh?
I remember Twitter talking mad shit on Polaris visuals for
What?
no reason.
Bombs?
Mm-hmm.
The visuals on Polaris were amazing.
We gonna, you know what? We gonna talk about that when you eventually. You know what I'm saying? We gonna talk about that eventually. My bullshit. Portia, 5 is happening.
Hold up.
Hold it. Up.
What's that? Season 6? Is it the ending?
6.
There have been 4 seasons.
Season 6 is the last chapter, and chapters before that, and
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
before that, and before that.
It's Kotakai no Ota? Ata? I don't know.
Is it an opening or ending?
It's an ending.
Okay.
I think it's season 6.
No, it's only
There
been
is no seasons.
God damn! Stop saying. We just said it's not a season. We just said that. Just said that.
unless you mean ending.
What's in the ending, Portia?
It's airy.
Oh, Ari. Yeah.
Okay, so that is
Which-
opening
Hey,
ending
Kuchi, I sent you a
6.
text.
Yeah.
That's ending 6.
It is.
Okay, so
Probably ending 7.
Ending
6.
7?
Yeah.
6.
I'm 7.
It's 6. It's the one that tells Aries' backstory.
Mm-hmm.
Kokai no Uta.
What?
Okay, so I think my whole list is jacked
Oh,
up.
I'm no. I'm just I understand what's going on. This I'm looking at a playlist. And the playlist has two it has an updated version of season 3's ending too. That's why. I understand. I see where I fucked up. I see. So ending 6, you got it. That was indeed a bop. Indeed a bop. It was actually I technically ranked all of them because I was at work and bored, and I think that might be at like the lower end of my list. I think.
That one has some
Ending?
has some really good visuals because it tells the entire backstory of Aries, and that was just really unique how they did it.
And I don't know if it's just me being the Naruto stan that I am, but if I do remember correctly, that is a reference to the first ending of Naruto, to where he is standing in a golden field
Oh,
Oh,
Wind.
Wind.
Tree.
Yeah.
Wind by Akaboshi. Yeah.
I love that.
Mhm. That one's great. And I'm pretty sure a young Eri, is standing in a field with a teddy bear. So
It does happen. But no, yeah, that is indeed a banger. Nah, that is a lot. Not like it's like in the middle-ish of my list.
It's mid. That's what you're trying to
In the middle-ish of my list. Well, I mean,
it's a
listen.
semi-banger.
I mean, listen. My Hero as a whole, openings and endings. Listen, they cool, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Stacking up to the competition. Nah, not stacking up to the competition. No, listen, it be like that. That's unfortunate. That is indeed unfortunate. Nah, my number 5 though. My number 5 would indeed be an ending. A number 4. Ending number 4 is just too crispy. That is.
Is that the one with sketches?
Yes, this is the ones that start with
yeah.
sketches.
Oh
That's-
man, I hate that one.
I know you
Maybe
do.
a
I know you do.
honorable
You
mention,
said that,
but
and
I
you do
didn't
stink. And you do stink for that, Twitchy. I remember you saying that.
Wait. It's ending 4.
I like
Yeah.
the first, the very
Oh,
end.
okay, so it's update. It's update by Miwa.
Yeah,
Update. That one is so good.
That would've been
update.
my honorable
Yeah, and
mention.
first off, my man said he hated it. That's the worst part. That just
That is
Damn,
the worst
Twitchy?
ending and opening of the entire series.
Really?
that
I
ain't-
don't like the.
that's actually
Wait.
crazy. Hold on, he wildin'.
It's the worst what? The worst what?
It's the worst ending or opening of the entire series.
That's just
Wow.
cap.
You're
I got
just-
I got the most
Which-
I got the
which
most
one?
recent opening 7. Absolutely bottom tier. That shit dick. That
And,
shit
ending
trash.
5. I don't like ending 5.
Ending 5, I got ending 5 right above that one. I actually think I think I fucked up my list. Actually, I had something backwards, but actually no, I didn't. It is in this. No, I did fuck up my list. Whoopsie doodles. That's my number. That's technically my number 4. All right, well, fuck it. I'll just go first, and we'll go backwards. But technically, my number 5 was ending 7. I did have my list fucked up. Unfortunately, it'd be like that sometimes. Whoopsie doodle. Well, ending 6, the one she just said, and then I just said ending 7 because I'm retarded. But ending 6, same one as Portia. That's my number 5, and then my number 4 is ending 4. 5. So yeah. And then
Can somebody send Dustin a link?
I sent it to
He's
him
doing
on Twitter.
work. He can't make it.
Huh? Oh yeah, he already. I been said I sent him the link. No, yeah, he said, what's it called? He just said he trashed Brody. He can't make it now. He alright. I mean, he work overnights, bro. He good. I told you, I already sent the link. But ending 6, ending 4. Y'all might see a trend here. Portia, number 4.
One sec. Odd Future.
Future. Which one is that? Opening through 2. I mean,
Season three
it's
opening
opening
one.
4. It's what I said.
opening
Season
4.
opening one. Okay. Should
I
I
thought
give you
so.
my list as well?
Yeah,
Or,
my bad.
Your camera on.
Whose camera is that?
Your
I don't know.
camera is on.
I don't know whose camera that is.
Oh, my
Oh,
bad.
that's Dustin. What's happening? What's Gucci? What's popping?
Sorry, bro. What's up, bro?
Big Trash. What's
Yeah,
happening?
Big trash, man.
Came through. We in the middle of the top 5. That's crazy.
Oh, y'all good. Y'all keep. I don't watch open endings or anything. So
No, we got this one's gonna be on the faster side anyways, and then we'll throw it back to some conversation about the chapter. But
good bit.
our future Portia number 4, Vontae. Your number 4?
4. I got opening 5. Make my story.
Oh, I hate that one too.
Opening
I-
5.
I kind of
I
understand.
absolutely hate that one.
Like, yeah, I could kind of see what y'all mean, but I don't know. I feel like the visuals match with the song really well, like the mood of it. I just really like it. I don't know. And I like the Bakugo part where he's looking at All Might. It hit. But yeah,
That's why I don't like it.
That y'all wildin', cause that one hit. Y'all wildin'. That's actually crazy. That was a whole ass
But
bop.
I
The
can
whole
see if
ass
it's like
pop.
lower. I can see if it's lower on your list. So I can see that. But personally, it,
Y'all lacking. What you mean? This is a bop. Y'all, please. Y'all out here wildin'. I just need y'all to know. I just
And
need
the
y'all to
boy
know.
Nasa.
Vontae, you're clearly not wilding. But the rest of y'all, well, that's crazy.
Had the boy at NASA in there too, boy. Don't mean.
I just need y'all to know. And you're my boy. Y'all know that's my guy and NASA. What you mean, man? Wind? Man, listen. Storm things, bro. All I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And that's a goat.
In their head like, nah,
Grin, my
y'all,
bad.
that
Yo,
ain't it.
let me hit them first two of yours, cousin. Let me hit them first two of yours, cousin.
Yeah. So
What if last two, my bad?
my honorable mention is Star Maker, which is the opening 7.
Really?
Opening 7 or 6, yeah.
The most recent one?
Yeah, the most recent one.
Yeah, that's opening 7.
My number 5 for me was Sorani Utaiba, which is the second opening for season 2, I think so.
So opening 3.
Oh, the third one.
Interesting. Okay.
Opening 3. Yeah, and 4 was Peace Sign for me. 4 was Peace Sign.
You said it was opening or ending, my bad.
Peace sign
2.
opening
Peace Sign is
2.
opening 2.
Open to, oh, okay.
Opening 2? I fucks with it.
Sports festival.
That was a bop. That was
Yeah,
indeed a bop. That was a bop.
Mhm.
That was opening 3, then opening 2.
Yeah. And then in 3, 2, and 1 for me is the day, Polaris, and Odd Future.
Oh shit, you get a whole list? I got you. We would have win in order, but you said what were they?
Opening the day, which is opening 1 at 3. Polaris, which is opening season 4, opening 1.
Opening
And-
6.
Yeah, opening 6. Yeah. And for number 1, I have Odd Future, which is season 3 of opening 1.
It's opening 4. It's
I got you. No, I got you.
Yeah.
No, bet. Goated list. Twitchy, let me hear that number 4.
Number 4, I have Polaris. Although it was cliche, I did love the falling through the sky to save the girl.
You
outstretched
feel me?
hand.
Come on, dog.
It's cliche,
that's
but
what I'm
it's
saying.
cliche because it works.
No, I'm agreeing with you. That shit was clean. That shit, and
Plus it had all of the
part of the song. I'm saying it's your section. My bad. Sorry, my bad.
No, you're good.
No, keep going.
I was just gonna say, plus it had all the foreshadowing for every single fight that was in the arc, which I really love. So
Yeah, it did. It really did.
yeah, not much to say about that one, but plus it's a bop as well. So
The part
That
when
was
they're
it.
like flying in the air, where Eri and Deku are holding hands and
It was
they're
raw.
flying over the ocean.
It was raw.
Oh.
It touched my
That
soul.
was such a good
The
scene.
purple ocean, that shit touched my soul. Sharon, your number 4.
all right. Yeah. So the last, the second opening and the last opening on my list is number 7, Star Maker by Kanabun.
Which one
I
was
just
that?
thought that the visual, the last one opening,
Oh,
7,
the,
I just thought the visuals fit
yeah.
so well with that school festival. I loved how bright and happy it was, especially after what we just went through with Overhaul. So I really liked that.
It's a dope contrast.
and that's why the Culture Festival rocks. Bombs.
Yeah, I'm saying if you don't like that, listen. If you don't like the culture festival, you just can't read. That's all.
Oh, yeah. No.
You just can't read. That's all there is to it. That's all. As far as I'm concerned, you just can't read. It's not my problem. It's all good. It's alright.
All right, and you want me to do my number 3?
Yeah, we'll do it like that now.
All right.
Since...
Cool. So my number 3 coming to the endings. We're doing Date Atashi no Hero by Lisa, ending 3. Let's go. Such a bop. The visuals, it's beautiful.
That shit is raw. That shit is just raw. That's all I got for you. That shit is just raw. Goated choice. You love to see it.
Lisa is a goddess. Any anime she touches besides Sword Art Online is goated.
That's wrong, but continue.
All right. Well, you're the one that's continuing. Which is number fucking 3, asshole.
So number 3, this was really close. I went back and forth with 2 and 3. So they are really close to one another. But it is Shout Baby by let me get my notes out so I can pronounce this correctly. Ryukyu Oshoku Shakai. Bless me.
If you've been a part of my streams, you've been seeing me play this song this song on Osu. You know what I'm saying? We're going crazy.
It's so great. It has references to MVA. It has references to Vigilantes.
It got the cover pages.
It's got the cover pages. It's got stuff like, oh my goodness, stuff that we've been theorizing, like the Dobby reveal. Yeah. What's going on with Hawks? Is his dad connected to Endeavor? Because he was a criminal that Endeavor called.
You talk to him.
The dog thinks so too.
Sorry, that's my dog.
No, you good.
I'm so sorry.
No, you're good.
You
I was
talk to
just
him,
making a joke. But yeah, I absolutely love this ending. It is my favorite ending from the series. So that gives you a little inside look at my top 2. But
all I'm saying is that was a banger. That is a whole ass banger. And then 5, shit raw. Vontae, your number 3.
Number 3, similar to Mr. Twitchy, it was 2 and 3 are really, really close. And similar to Sherm, my number 3 is Ending 3 by Lisa. You already know. Sherm said everything. It's hit, visuals hit, vocals hit.
Got you, Fonte.
All of it hit. Y'all spitting. I need y'all to know y'all some cultured individuals. Cultured. Portia, what's your number 3?
Make My Future.
What was that? Is that Make My Story?
I think
I don't know the names of these motherfuckers.
It's Make My Story.
Make My Story. I agree. Yeah, Make My Story is it.
Story.
Make My Story is also a hit. Make My Story is also a hit. See, that's what I'm saying. How y'all don't like Make My Story?
Man.
How y'all don't like Make My Story? What's the problem?
I just chose it, so I don't.
Count
me out the OST.
She didn't give a fuck about her list at all. That's
so mediocre.
I get it.
Yeah, I feel like compared to the other openings, it just wasn't up to it.
Y'all
falls
like
flat.
Actually, technically, now that I'm looking at it, that's my fucking honorable mention. Now I'm looking at it at my list. Opening 4. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw that down there. You know what I'm saying? Because it's an honorable mention, and y'all stink. You know what I'm saying? I just gotta do it because I'm petty.
I want to say it's opening 5. Not 4. 4 is Odd Future.
4 is Odd Future?
5 is Make My Story.
I bet.
Yep.
Yeah, 4 is Odd Future. 5 is Make My Story.
Oh yeah, you got it. I'ma still put it down there just, you know what I'm saying? Gotta be petty. Forget y'all. That opening's goated. That's crazy. Baseless slander. I can't believe y'all would say such a thing. Anyways, my number 3 is I'm tripping. Since I thought it was opening 4, I put opening 4 down there. My 3 is opening 5. Y'all, cause fuck y'all baseless slander. Opening 5 raw. Opening 4 is my what's it called though? Opening 4 is in my honorable mentions, but opening 5, goated. Y'all tripping. That shit raw. That whole arc was raw. When we got to, man, my boy Naza hit the shoop. The wind came out of nowhere. The drums go crazy on that song. You know what I'm saying? Little drummer boy over here, you feel me? Listen, drums go crazy on it. Bop go crazy on it. Vocals go crazy on it. Homie be spitting. I don't know what the fuck he's saying, but he's spitting the whole time. That shit clean. That shit is clean. And then since we on me, of course, I'll give y'all my number 2 as well. Opening 6, baby. What you talking about? That shit was too clean. We just talked about it. The homies falling over the ocean. that was
the
listen,
best scene in the opening.
I do like that.
It was very hard to choose between these two. My first 2. It was very, very hard to choose between those 2. But opening 6, gotta take the number 2 spot because listen, My number one is just, it's always been there. It's not that time though. It's not time for that though. It's not time. Partially, it is time for your number two though.
Huh?
Two. Dos.
Two.
Do. Ni.
Shout.
Hey, Shout Baby. I assume you're talking about Shout Baby, right?
Yes.
Hey,
Yeah.
Shout Baby.
Yeah, ending 7. Let's go.
Ending who?
It's ending
7.
7.
It's ending 7?
Yes.
Alright. Alright.
I don't know what playlist you were watching, but it was all out of order.
Vontae? Number 4? Hey man, listen.
2.
I do that all the times. How do I only mix up the 4 and the 2?
I got Odd Future, my number 2. Visuals hit, music hit, all mesh well together. And that's been my favorite opening since it came out. Never changed, so that's still the same, and that's about it.
I'm out here. I thought we had to make 2 separate lists for opening and endings, so I have an entire ending list prepared.
Oh, I feel it. No, yeah, that was supposed to be mixed.
No, we just smashed them together.
Yeah.
Our bad.
Oh
friend.
god.
No, you good. We'll just go over that list
Yeah,
too when we done.
See, it makes it a lot harder.
And then Twitchy, number 2.
Number 2, I have the first opening, The Day by Porno Graffiti.
Oh.
It has one of the best musical intros.
Yeah.
Yep.
Why is in my head?
Hey, that's the
I
classic.
love that band is awesome. I just love the way that their lead singer sounds. The sound of his voice is great. I think it works well for anime openings. It has the All Might versus No Move fight at the beginning. Eraserhead showing out. They're both in my top 5 characters. Then of course Deku finally starting his journey, reaching out his hand to All Might the symbol, and finally meeting All Might the person.
That's why I like opening 6 so much, you know what I'm saying, with the hand thing,
Yep,
because it shows the
yep.
growth and shit. That shit raw. Shit raw. What you mean? That shit so clean.
Agreed.
Man, the minute you said that, I could hear the song play in my head.
Man.
It's hella catchy.
That shit was clean. Yeah,
It's so good. So good.
Sherm, your number 2.
All right, so while we're sitting here talking about porno graffiti, I just want to say that Melissa, the opening for the original Full Metal Alchemist, is better. So,
You no.
but my number.
You just had to get that off your chest.
Charm, we were
I
so
did.
close.
So,
We were so
You just
close.
had to get that off your chest.
I did. So my number 2 is Update by Miwa. So ending number 4, which is on your list already. It's so much better than certain people give it credit for.
Indeed. That's insane. That's insane.
It does align with your trash FMA take.
Listen,
You're trash.
listen, okay. I just want to say that technically, because I have COVID, I have the most cultured list here. So
It had to be like that.
You know what? You got me
It
there. I
had
can't
to be
argue.
like that.
You pulled
Damn.
that card and you won.
Damn. It had to be like that. That's crazy.
oh, yeah.
Wow.
I concede.
All right, then. Gonna give you number 1 then, motherfucker. Damn.
It's ending 7, Shout Baby.
Ah.
Love it.
And
Again.
everything
Should have
that
seen you
needs
played
to
it
be
on
said has to be
Osu.
said about it. Like, just the visuals, all the little teasers it gives us.
The references. Clean.
Man,
It's a fun beat map to play on Osu.
Oh yeah, it's just they're a great band too. Like, appreciate them.
That's dope. That's fire. Flames. Twitchy. It's your number 1.
Number 1, I have Odd Future by Uberworld. So opening 4.
Let us see it.
I love the reference to the volume cover of My Hero, the first volume cover, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. I love the fact that Deku goes Super Saiyan, and then from the camera's point of view that goes into his eye, it goes into the All Might versus All for One fight with All Might screaming his heart out just as the chorus of the song hits.
Why didn't All Might in the actual?
Yeah,
Man,
it was. See, that was a good ass. See, I like it, but
when that opening
good-ass
first
honorable
came
mention.
out.
Oh yeah, that's a fucking. Oh yeah, yo ass in that damn muscle fight. Yeah, right.
Ah ha ha ha.
Ah
The title track comes with the
yeah.
drums, right?
I forgot
The
about that
title track comes with the
motherfucker.
drums.
And it had like 2
Yep.
beat drops on there too.
So it had that. It had
Totoro.
that wicked guitar or wicked piano at the beginning of the song.
You know what I'm saying?
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
It was good enough for you know what I'm saying, an honorable mention. It
Yeah.
was good enough for honorable
Sketches
mention.
suck.
But what's good enough for Vontae's number 4? I mean number 1. How do I do this? How do I do this?
My number 1, ending 7, shout baby.
Hey, you love
Nice.
it. We shouting. That's
So
raw.
good. I was replaying
Fonte
that
and I were
a
linked
lot.
up on this.
Listen,
Fonte and I were linked
I
up on
did
this.
too. It's just like there's just a lot of raw. It's just a lot of rawness. That's all. There's just a lot of rawness. Portia, what's your number 1?
textures and all of that.
For sure.
Gone. Dead and gone. Be last. So my number 1 is, you already know what the fuck going on. Ending number 3. Okay, my boy out here, knight in shining armor. You know what I'm saying? Defeat the dragon demon at the end. Okay, got the sword of All Might. What you talking about?
Oh,
Listen.
yes. That was clean.
Listen, the play, it's a play. Come on, man. They drama
I'm telling you,
students in
if
this
My Hero was
one.
an
That shit's
actual
so
fantasy
clean.
anime, though, it would be amazing.
That
If My
shit
Hero was
is
a fantasy anime, that would be amazing.
clean. I love that. It was just, repeat is an understatement of what that shit was on when that came out. Like, I remember, like, that was at when I think, like, I had just started watching My Hero, but like season 2 was coming on the cusp of coming out. So when it came out, it was the perfect time. Cause I think I had just moved out on my own too. So it was one of the first things I watched when I was out on my own. So it's like it got
You had got
memories.
The opening had, the ending had Bakugo on a dragon. Oh my god.
It had Bakugo
Come
the
on,
dragon, and a fun fact about the ending. So like Bakugo and Deku was just standing back to back. You know what I'm saying? Back to back with each other. They both was looking fucked up. And then it panned to like whatever the demon was. It panned back to Bakugo. That nigga was on the ground. I'm like, what happened? What happened? And then it was just Deku by himself with the sword of All Might. I'm like, what happened to my nigga? What happened to my boy? Come on, man. I'm like, damn.
Foreshadowing of this arc.
I'm like, damn.
Oh,
I'm
so
mad.
Attack on Titan
It
shit.
just, but I'm mad it like panned
I got you,
away.
Monte.
It panned away from a boy. It like, but at least
looked away for one second.
he didn't get off screen. And and the ending he got off screen. I'm like,
Right.
damn, we couldn't get this motherfucker get fire blown in this shit or some shit like that. We couldn't see him get stepped on or something like that, smacked in his cheek or something. Man, listen,
But
dog.
the
Bro, I gotta watch this.
transition from
Which
but the
one was
transition from Izuku cutting the air with the sword to All Might punching is
So
was
clean.
fire.
It's
It
so
was
because
fire.
that's why I was like the sword of All Might. It's like the sword was one for all, and it's like that's what's being passed down,
That was
and it's
so
clean.
cool.
Portia,
Yeah,
since you talking now, what's your number 1?
Don't judge me.
I'm judging.
Little Glee Monster.
Huh? I don't even know what the fuck that one is.
It's the end. I think it's the ending. Remember what everyone.
The one ending?
It's
That-
it's ending 2, the one that Hart was talking about in the chat with all the girls.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that
That's
that
the
ending,
one
that
part
motherfucker
I
heat.
included in Janai.
That was heat.
Yeah.
It almost made it. Well, I think it's like it would have been the second honorable mention. It would have been the second. Fuck, I'm putting
I
it there.
actually
Shit,
like
I'm
that
putting it there. Hold
It
on.
was
A lot.
so cute and
Do-do-do.
just wholesome. It was very wholesome. I loved it.
That motherfucker go crazy. What you talking about? That motherfucker.
It was very
listen, man.
wholesome to me.
I like
It
it.
was
That's
so
my.
It was not my number one.
Yeah.
My number one. My number one
To
was
me-
Yeah. Let's hear your ending. Let's hear your ending list, Green.
I
he
was so-
Oh, go ahead, Portia.
No,
I'm
it's fine.
interrupting
I was
you.
just going to
So
say,
sorry.
to me, it represents like school life because it's academia, and I was like, oh, so
The
yeah,
girls.
That's it.
No, yeah, that's fucking dope. It's
Yeah,
what's the
estrogen.
like that was one that I actually replayed a lot. Like when I forgot about it until I was actually listening to the when I was listening to all of them again today, and I remember I heard that when I was like, it. You ever heard one of them throwback songs that you love and you forget what it
Yeah.
sound like, but you hear one note and you remember the whole ass song
Man,
that
I
happened,
played
and I was and then I
Inuyasha
and,
OST.
boy,
I ain't gonna talk,
you
bro.
ain't
I
never-
played Inuyasha
hey.
OST. I wasn't okay.
hey, you spitting right now. Hold on, you
No cap, played
spitting right
Inuyasha
now.
OST.
Hold
I was
on.
crying in my room.
You wake up drooling 3 a.m. when you was 6 o'clock in the morning. Shit.
Bro.
And you just hear some like,
Bro,
okay,
you gotta
what's going
realize-
I don't know
on?
about y'all, but I
Right
woke up to George Lopez going off.
Hey, what you talking about? Hey, man,
George
listen.
Lopez
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
is really
I remember I used to come home, Roseanne was coming on, that fucking harmonica or whatever the
Wait,
fuck.
did you watch The Nanny? Bro, The Nanny will be on late too.
My sister loved the nanny. Alright,
Nanny was
it was a
great.
good top 5. Loved it. Actually good. Your top 5 for endings though, since that's the last thing we can do for that one. Then we can
Yeah,
hop back
so
for some discussions with my cousin Dustin. my
Mine
twin.
was number 5 was the Dakara Hitori Janai by Lady V Girls. That was number 5 for me.
Mm-hmm.
Then it was Hero. It was a tie between Heroes and Shout Baby for me at number 4. I wasn't really sure
I
which
see
one.
it.
Number 3 for me was Kokai no Uta, which is the first ending for season 4, the one with Eri and her backstory thing, which was amazing. Number 2 was Date Atashi no Hero, which is the fantasy one, and number 1 for me was Long Hope Philia.
It's a solid list. As indeed a solid list. No, yeah, it would see, yeah, we made it harder. Well, I mean, it was hard for me in general because I'm a music guy, but like mixing them together, I guess that definitely makes it harder. But it's like I got since I would listen to them all, I kind of got I got a whole list of all of them. So it's just like
I actually made a list of overall top 5 endings and opening list,
No, I got you.
and then I sent it to Twitchy, and I was like, is this the opening or ending list of only My Hero or of all time? And he's like, it's only My Hero. I was like, oh shit. Okay,
I mean,
now you
that would have been
open
hard.
list.
Hey man, I would still be coming up with my answers to this at this very fucking moment. I would be still coming up with my answers. That shit's hard. That could not. No. Oh no,
The
that could not.
JJK though, the JJK though, already there, boy.
You feel
Letting
me?
you know.
Hey, you feel me though? That motherfucker saucy for no reason. Saucy for no reason.
In my openings list of all time, My Hero doesn't have even one. I don't even have
Oh, yeah,
one
no, not
My
at all.
Hero
Yeah, no.
openings of,
Oh, yeah.
in
Oh,
my
no.
top 5.
Openings, not at all. Endings, kind of.
Don't be
You know what I'm saying?
simple, Twitchy.
Ending, I got a top ending. Hey man, it's
Yeah, I
it's
have
one.
one.
It's in the top 10, not 5, but 10
Yeah.
for ending. But no, yeah, most definitely. But alas, like I said, it's a crispy clean top 5. You know what I'm saying? Listen, we love to see it. We love the music. What do we do around here? We vibe. So you gotta obviously, you know what I'm saying, obviously call out the vibes when we can. Call out the vibes when we can. Twin, Dustin, you still here, God?
He needs about
I need 5 minutes, bro.
yep, 5 minutes.
5? Oh, that's all bad. All bad. You hate to see it.
All right,
We'll
so
swinging the discussion back.
We already did. It's already there.
yeah, I was gonna
We were
say,
last
go ahead, Grin.
Which was the last topic we were at, which is the
Killing
what do we think is
heroes.
gonna happen, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
it's just
becoming
like, do we
Endeavor's
think? Do we?
nerds.
The last topic was if we think heroes are gonna.
You wish.
If we think heroes are gonna start
Yes,
killing.
I do.
Okay, so now what do you guys think about the future of the series? This is what I was trying to hold up until we could get here. I actually wrote an entire thing of what I think the future of from the ending of this arc to when we go on the time skip. I have like a general prediction of how I think things will unroll or unravel out into the series. So going off what you said, Tucci, earlier was first I have like 5 or 6 points. So the first point would be, I don't think that we are going to fight the Hero Commission anytime soon at all. Second point, the at the end of this arc, suppose the League of Villains win, or at least they draw the entire battle, I don't think society would support the League of Villains, and Shigaraki would definitely go undercover. They wouldn't willingly support the villains because they're villains, right? But they would be duped into supporting them through manipulation of Redestro's public connections, which is what you had said earlier. But I was trying to like wait until we got here so we could make the entire thing into like a proper discussion. And I also think that this is where we'll get the traitor reveal, because the person that will be in charge of, convincing the general society and siding with Redestro will probably be on the Hero Commission Board. And I also think the rules to be a hero will change, as well as the laws and punishments.
So real quick, Grin, you think that the traitor is someone from the Hero Commission and not from UA?
I think there's somebody who is in UA, but also an active member of the Hero Commission. Because here's the thing. In the Christmas chapter, we had Nezu tell Aizawa that that there was a separate mission. Nezu had given Aizawa a separate mission, saying that, oh, Aizawa, by the way, about the other program, and then we didn't even get to know what the other program was. There was literally one panel that said that, and then it skipped 3 days later. Because I was like, what the fuck? Okay. So I feel like there is somebody who is part of UA, but also influential on the Hero Commission Board. Because then they will be able to actually change the rules and punishments for what it means to be a hero. 3, society kicking out the heroes would ruin the logic of the world building, and like I said before, they'll most likely replace UA and change regulations. 4, I think our main teachers would realize the situation they were in and already have a plan. They probably already have one, which is most likely to transfer the students to a UA branch abroad for the foreseeable future, leading to point 5, which is the International Hero Society would be willing to take our students into the UA branches abroad, seeing as recent events in Japan, as well as the new regulations that are currently being built into effect, are dangerous. Leaving the students safe from Japan, giving them a chance to learn abroad, meet new allies, and provide the longevity we need for the series. And lastly, we'll have a mini arc of Shigi visiting AFO in prison, which will be the prison break arc, and then the time skip.
It's a double list. It's it's to see there's some of it. There's some of it I think that could happen, but no, I like a lot of it is I don't know. A lot of it just comes down to how they how society treats like this situation, because obviously it's gonna be you can't just uproot heroes and shit like that, but it's like you can sure as hell stop like trusting heroes, like they types of rules and stuff like that. You got people like Shigaraki, Redestro, and them. That start broadcasting the want to use like that. Like we already know what Redestro wants. That's liberation. So people.
Yeah, I mean, we know that Redestro is like a public figure. He's part of a large corporation, so he definitely has some sort of reach within society. But we also know that the public knows that Shigaraki is a villain at large, because of the several amount of announcements we've had and the incidents we've had in Camino World and Host City. So
that's not really what I'm getting at. I mean, like they don't have to use Shigaraki as like a beacon of hope for people to just be using their quirks wherever they want. They can use like anybody. They can use the Curious wanted to use Toga. that was like the whole reason. Like she wanted to do that with Toga. They wanted to spin Toga's story. So they can start pushing the advocation of like, no, use your own quirks. So it's like if they're using their own quirks, I could see them like starting to push the like phase heroes out, yeah. But it's like that's where people start like protecting themselves with like their own quirks, and that would push for like the freedom and liberation they're looking for. Not really, you don't really have to use like Shigaraki for that, but to press that agenda.
Well, technically speaking, I think that Redestro, granted, if he survives this arc, that he could be the figurehead and Shiggy could rule from the shadows, because an interesting point An interesting point that a lot of people tend to forget, because it was only mentioned, I think, once, maybe twice, is that the time period when All for One used to rule Japan, it doesn't show up in the textbooks. So one of two things: either he had control of the media, or he ruled from the shadow. We know that Redestro, with the help of Skeptic, can do both of those. And then also Shigaraki, since Redestro is following his will, he could just allow him to make all the decisions that Redestro is asked to make.
Which is what I was saying, that Shigaraki and the League of Villains will be undercover, like they won't be known. They'll be in the shadows. They won't be in like the light in the forefront. Redestro will probably be the figurehead, and I have a feeling that the Hero Commission, at least some parts of the Hero Commission, aren't as keen as we think they are.
What's good, you, Dustin? Cousin.
What's up, bro?
What's happening? What's good, you?
Ochako, nigga.
Okay. Oh, you think she's coming through? That's what you thinking for next chapter? Next few chapters?
Damn, that's my baby. I just wanted the panel. That's all I needed.
You ready for that?
That chapter was dope, though, man.
You ready for the Ochako versus the Ochako versus what's her face Toga? You ready for
Toga,
it?
yeah. Bro, we get a chapter that say Toga Himiko versus Yuraka Ochako 1, I'ma lose my shit.
Oh yeah, the numbered chapters. If Horikoshi get to like numbered chapters, it's over. It's over. It's over.
My shit, bro.
It's over.
Dabi won.
I like how Horikoshi didn't stay in that world for that long, because I feel like he could have stretched that shit out for 2 or 3 chapters.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
If he wanted to, and I'm glad he didn't. So we out of that shit. Then I'm glad if Shigaraki gonna be down for a little bit, then I think that, because I was thinking that Gagento Maki was gonna get them there, then he go like knock out immediately. But he might do some damage first to make it even more like easier for the villains before he knock out. Now Shigaraki gonna be sidelined for a second, so that's gonna be exciting to see.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Well, that was one.
Fire, bro.
That was one question I wanted to bring up, was the fact that we only saw, including Deku, 7 of the 9 One for All users in this chapter. Because there's those little like One for All stars that are in the background of page 13, but you only see 6 background stars and Deku. So I wanted to ask you guys what you thought of that.
Wait. Which page is this?
Page 13. It's 12 and 13. I think it's the double spread of 287.
Hold on. I think
There's only 6 One for All stars in the background, and then Deku at the forefront of the panel. So that still does lead into the fact that those 2 previous One for All users were blacked out.
I think at that point that's really all that could help. They were blacked out, then like these stars aren't here. We wouldn't know why, but like they do seem similar.
Okay, so obviously All Might wouldn't be there because he's alive in the real world. It could be one of the users.
And Nana's standing right there.
Yeah, but in that panel it doesn't show that Nana's standing there. Maybe Nana and the first user became the stars, or Tucci, you might be getting at what I think you're probably talking about.
You're right.
Yeah, same length as you. Oh shit, dude! How is my brain wavelength on the same thing?
Because Twitchy's a broken record.
It's gonna be a broken record that goes platinum. Bet.
I mean,
I'll drop it.
I mean, if you eventually drop a fucking video about it, it might. It very well might.
It's not a new theory.
What are you talking about?
He's talking about the time travel theory. with
What that
Bakugo
Bakugo?
and
Oh
Hiroshima
man,
being
that's a trash
the
ass theory. Trash ass theory, bro.
And it's gonna go right to platinum with that trash ass record.
I would drop my hero if that shit was true.
I was thinking that maybe the 1 star that they don't show is actually the 4th user.
Well, technically speaking, they don't show 2 stars.
Oh, my.
Well, 1 is All Might, so they won't show All Might because he's alive.
No, because All Might's been in the Vestige world as like an ethereal being, and he's also been there for like the plus ultra attacks. So I'm thinking one of those stars is definitely All Might. This is the agenda that I'm pushing, so broken record. Like
You got
you guys just
some,
said.
especially got some questionable agendas.
Yeah, okay, I think it's the fourth user. That might be the
Okay.
fourth user.
Dustin, where would you put this like chapter alongside like the other ones, like the last few that came out?
It's like it's as good as the 2 weeks ago. It's
2
like
weeks ago?
this shit, right? That's like this
Yeah.
these chapters like this make me wonder. Like I think it was Twitchy that said that one chapter was top 5 in the entire series. Like
That was crazy.
Yep, 283.
Like how can you say that when you got
I
chapters
like
like this?
this chapter. I like more than like the last like I feel like 10, bro. I like this chapter a lot. I like this chapter more than so many of the last chapters. This
There
shit
was so much info
fire.
drop in this chapter.
You feel
which is
me?
Probably why I like it.
I like this one as much as a little bit less than 285.
Yeah, I feel you. I know.
That Bakugo chapter.
With-
though,
Yeah.
shit.
That chapter was indeed hidden. I think that was.
285. Was 285 the one where Bakugo
Yeah.
and All Might had the
Yeah.
conversation?
No, that's
Yeah.
half.
No, that
No,
was
284.
Yeah, it was 284.
Okay.
That was 285. I thought that was 2 weeks ago.
285 was the one where Bakugo sacrificed himself. 284 was the conversation with All Might.
See,
I thought that was the same chapter. They did like flashbacks. and
No,
shit.
Yeah.
no. It was the chapter before
They were
that.
different, yeah. Because I liked 284 over
Mhm.
285.
Oh yeah, you did right. You did say that. I remember
but
you
this
saying.
chapter definitely was better than both.
What chapter was? What chapter was better than both?
The
This chapter-
conversation with Bakugo and All Might.
This chapter's better
Versus
than
the
all them shit.
sacrifice.
So you know what I'm saying. This chapter's
Hey, if
better
that
than all
time
of them.
travel theory is confirmed, I'll agree with you.
The weird part is like we got a bunch of info that helped, but then I just have more questions now because I'm like,
Oh yeah, they
you just gave me
didn't
so much info.
they didn't fuck me up. They didn't give me all types of headcanon. So that's my favorite type of chapter. You gave
Hey,
me.
but has
you-
Toga killed somebody though?
yeah, I believe.
killed tons
yeah,
of people.
She
yeah.
literally bodied like 8
She-
heroes on the way here.
She body niggas. Remember in MVA, she killed all them niggas. Everybody that was after her, she killed.
Oh,
She-
yeah.
At the
They was
very
trying to
least,
kill- they was trying to kill
When
her.
Toga
at the
first
very
learned
least, she
about-
killed Curious.
Oh, she killed all them. She killed all them niggas, bro. She come on. You know.
That's why I
she-
said at the very least.
Well,
They
yeah,
was
and
on
name
Toga's
name
ass,
of will
though.
at least. You got it. I feel what you
They was
mean.
on Toga ass and they were chasing into that building. I was like, damn, they
That was a good man. Listen, that fight was so fucking clean,
Yeah, that
dog.
was a good ass fight.
That fight was clean. I can't wait for that bitch.
bitch.
When that motherfucker get animated this season, boy, what you mean? Man, listen.
If this arc is split into 2 different seasons, oh my god. Or
Oh,
this
yeah.
entire arc is 1 season.
Oh, this got to be one season.
Which one of
Oh
y'all?
my god, this
I think
entire arc
Oh,
is
I'm
1
gonna be real with you.
I'm
to be real with you. I think it's possible. I think it's probable.
No,
Not
it's
possible.
not, that arc is not long enough to split the 2 different.
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't
Well,
think so.
This
They
one?
would, they would have to make. They would have to make this season 13 episodes.
I mean,
You mean,
'cause,
no.
the
I'm
last
saying
few weeks,
I think
a lot
this season is like this arc is getting split into two.
What you mean?
The arc that we in right now, I think.
No.
is-
What arc?
No,
Meaning
no,
it's
no,
an entire
no,
season. It's an entire season.
Well,
25
today
episodes.
I hear you.
We 30 chapters in this arc so far.
I'm saying I hear you.
And we know.
I
that
think we
the
got a
first
lot to. I think we still got a lot to go.
How many chapters?
There's a
we-
lot to go.
I think
but
I still think we got a lot to go.
They've been averaging about 2 to 3 chapters per episode. So even if they did that, you could go all the way up to 50 chapters. That would be another 20
now,
weeks.
hang on, because you have to remember that the first episode is always filler.
Okay, but generally, give or take, because they will rush through this Deku versus Shiggy battle in like 1 episode when that's like 5 or 6 chapters
That's what I'm saying.
because
So
of
it's
how
like
quick the pacing is.
that's what I'm like. I don't think that's gonna be this season, but I think surely they can stop like that. Like imagine next season starts like next season ends with Shiggy waking up.
Nah, they
Well,
shouldn't touch
no,
no
no.
part of this arc this season.
Oh my god.
I've heard
That would
season
be sick.
5. The prediction of where it ends is
I
that
told you, right,
line.
where it-
to,
yeah,
all
yeah.
heroes disappeared from the streets.
That
I feel like
would
that'd
be
be
the
raw.
craziest cliffhanger to end the season at. If you say, and that day the heroes vanished from the city.
And then they gotta wait a year and a half.
They be clean.
Could you imagine
many
how much that would
people
increase the
lose
manga
them?
sales?
How many more
People
chapters
would
does this arc
lose
got?
their mind. They'd go nuts.
I think
They'd
it could
go
last
berserk.
300,
Oh my God.
Dustin, and then in chapter 300, All Might dies.
How?
Ooh.
Or Endeavor dies, preferably.
Well,
Yeah.
I think someone in particular is going to die in chapter 300. I would say it's more likely to be Endeavor, but for All Might to die at chapter 300 and that be the end of this like
I think
villain
I don't think
Endeavor's
rising
gonna
I don't think
saga.
All Might's done in this arc no more.
I think Endeavor's dying soon when Darby arrives here to fight Todoroki. 'Cause
Oh, yeah, he's a dead man.
Endeavor is stabbed
But
through
once
the
again-
stomach, and Bakugo is stabbed through the stomach. Todoroki's gonna have to make a choice, a very very difficult choice.
I don't
I don't
think
think Endeavor's stabbed
I don't
his
think
stomach.
Dobby's gonna give
Endeavor's not
Todoroki that
stabbed his
choice. I don't think Dobby gonna give Todoroki that choice. I don't think that's gonna happen.
That'll be about to shine. He about to have his
He
moment.
about to
Everybody saying he
incinerate
ain't-
that. He about to expose this man. He is about to that's why he brought fucking Skeptic. I just thought about it. That's why he brought Skeptic. He about to
Yeah, he probably
expose
did
that
just to fucking
nigga.
publicly
He
announce
is about to
everything.
expose
What a
that
guy,
man.
dude.
I did not think about that. That's definitely surely why he brought Skeptic. They about to expose that
These
nigga.
next 10 chapters of My Hero for it to be something else.
Bro, that's
Oh
what
my
I was
goodness.
I was talking to Ian, bro. Whatever chapter it is, like whatever that exposure of Endeavor, whatever Dobby / Togus does at that's going to be a goated fucking chapter. I'm waiting on that.
Well-
That's my next King
It's gonna be
Shiggy chapter.
mad.
Whatever that
Or
is my
yeah,
next
really,
King
really
Shiggy
mad.
chapter.
Or chapter 300 could be the Dobby reveal.
I mean,
No,
that's
I think it'll be.
I mean,
I think the Toyo
I'm
reveal
putting
will happen then
so
first.
I would put so what I would put that Dobby reveal into what I'm saying. So like into the whole collective of what I'm saying.
Yeah,
So,
I would factor that
chapter
in there.
300. So
I
chapter
mean-
300, Dobby is revealed as a Toya, and then Endeavor also dies the same chapter.
I feel
I
like
said
that'll
I
be
didn't
milking it
say
though.
that. I'm
13
t-
chapters into the reveal. We just got Dobby right now. Like that'll be a lot of milking.
If
I don't-
Darby kills Endeavor,
Well,
he
they're
says,
not in the same
"I'm
city.
Toya
Yeah,
Todoroki."
You could
They're
you
not
could
in the
swing
same
over
city.
to Tartarus for 5 chapters, Dustin.
They're still not in the same
Yeah,
city
but that's
yet.
milking.
But we ain't
Why we
seen
going to Tartarus for?
we ain't
What
seen
we
not
going for right
we
now?
ain't seen not near
For
nothing
5
amount.
chapters?
We haven't seen nothing of a whole team.
Chapter 300 would be wasted on Dobby.
I don't know about wasted, but I feel
Oh
like
no,
you
Sure.
make it.
it would be
Sherm's
wasted.
got some opinions on Dobby.
Sherm, what if chapter 300 All for One dies? I'm gonna
Who?
be so
All for
happy.
One?
If
Good.
All for
I
One
am
dies
so
in
tired.
chapter 300, I would lose my shit.
I
I'll
am
be
so
like, what?
I'm
tired.
like, how the fuck did we
Of
get
all
here?
for
How the fuck? Y'all gonna have to show me how we gonna get to
reason
either of
why
them
I-
two.
The reason why I think there could be a Tartarus detour is because we learned in this arc specifically that that Dobby doesn't fuck with the League. So if he were to hop off the back of Gigantomachia
No, sir.
and
No,
Gigantomachia
sir.
goes
No,
with
sir.
Shiggy to Tartarus.
No, sir. No,
Okay.
sir. No, sir. Sorry, I can't. I'm not rolling. Like what?
Is there a
Like-
reason why?
Because Gigantomachia is going to get knocked out soon from the shit he
Right.
got in his body. Like, what are we talking
Yeah,
about?
and Shigaraki also is in no condition to really be moved.
Not right
Like-
now. He's
And they
he's
still
fucked
not
up.
in the same city yet.
Right.
Yeah, but they about to be. I
He's
think
still
with him
getting
showing Dobby,
It'll be a
like,
chapter or two.
Yeah, and
Sam
they're
No, I'm
is-
both
saying,
so-
that- I'm just
Cities
saying
away.
I'm just saying more because like they not in the same city yet. Yes, we got to get through whatever they gonna get through when Dobby and them do indeed get there. And then we got Monomo's entire team that we haven't seen yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
What
We've
if
got
we see
entire
them next
school
chapter?
we haven't seen.
it's chapter.
We might
We
see
don't,
Monomo's
but we
team
don't know
next
if they
chapter.
have anything to do with it in general though.
You mentioned it previously, Townzie. They are one of the top 2 schools.
I
in
was
the
talking shit.
entirety.
I was saying they better be there. I was talking. I know. I was talking shit.
Well, you could just get probably a look in at Anasa, but I definitely feel like 300 could be a major death chapter. Whether it's Endeavor or All Might, I could go either way.
Because I don't think Horikoshi.
I don't
is,
think
like,
All
that
Might
type
die
of
in this
author-
fucking arc no more. He's just
I
not
don't think
there.
Horikoshi that type of author where he lines up shit for the like he might do
For a
something with the title.
a special
Yeah, he
number,
might
I
do-
agree.
He might do something with the title of that chapter just because it's there, but I don't think he'll like make the narrative.
I just thought of the
Go
most
here for
crazy
that's
thing
that's an
ever.
older thing.
Imagine if the day that the students, if they go abroad, imagine if the day that they leave to go abroad, All Might gets offed and they never even know about it.
That's just fucked up.
That'd be unfortunate.
They would have to know about it.
If they're on the plane,
But
they don't know
later
shit.
on,
If
not
they're
then.
not if they're on the
Later
plane. They get to
That
America
was
like,
Wi-Fi
what?
on planes?
hard.
Deku jumping out.
After that broken ass, after society breaks, they gonna have the money to pay for the Wi-Fi on the plane.
He gonna turn that whole plane around with float. He's like, we're gonna go save him.
Is that that's what's gonna happen. Yeah, you got it. You got it. You got it.
Mucho
I agree.
trabajo.
Nah, what's it called? Nah, this chapter's fucking good. Just goated.
Bueno.
Period. Point blank. Period. This is a goated ass chapter. But this is also a goated ass stream because it's been fucking. This has been the longest so far. We only had a few things to talk about. I'm glad my boy Dustin could make it a little bit. Did you have anything else on the chapter before I ended things here?
I just hope we don't have a break this whole October. Looking like we're doing good so far.
Do we got a break right now?
Yeah. No, chapters come out Friday, which means the illegal's probably Thursday.
Oh,
so
yeah.
look out for that.
Does that mean I gotta
the
get off? That
spoilers
means
come
I
out
gotta
now.
get off work and immediately do things? Oh, great. Wonderful.
I think we
Great.
got one more. How many chapters we got left in the month? One more after this? Like in October? Or is it two more?
Two more.
Probably two more.
Let me look at the calendar. Oh yeah, it's
Two
October
more.
12th.
Unless you count officials, then it's.
No, yeah, we got two more if you're not counting the chapter this week.
But
we
it
only
still
got one
drops in
more.
Japan a few days early, so.
No, I'm talking
No,
about like
one
the
more.
second. I'm talking about the second one. It would. Well, no,
Oh,
it's two. Because the two more. The official drops on Sunday, the November 1st. But that.
Oh no, yeah, you're right. We do got two more.
So yeah, it's two more.
If we don't go on a break.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And it sucks too because One Piece come back, so now these knowing One Piece fans gonna be back on their shit on Twitter.
Ah.
Yeah. Oh my god.
It never
my
fails.
things.
It never
I gotta
fails.
go to it. I'm at work.
Nah, do your thing, bro.
I'm gonna try to make it next time.
No, you good. No, I appreciate you for
trash.
coming through. Nah, you was
All right,
here.
Dustin.
You was here. What you mean? You was here.
All right, peace out, Dustin.
All right, Dustin.
All right,
Appreciate
y'all
you for
go.
coming
Bye.
through,
Bye,
bro.
Dustin.
Nah, but and with that, indeed, like I said, it was a good. I was trying to get his last thoughts, anyways. He was the one. He was here for least. But it's a fun ass stream, Grin. I appreciate you for coming through. You listen, insightful as hell. All of the knowledge. Hey, didn't drop the knowledge on us. I appreciate you for coming through for our head to head. I only lost my voice, train of thought, all that. I just had a stroke. One of our very few, too few Emerald City members. All right, you know what I'm saying? So if you're not a member of Emerald City, pull your ass up. You might get your ass pulled in the fucking stream. You might get pulled in the guy, you know what I'm saying? So like, if you do want to, you probably pull up to the Discord. But I mean, if you don't, hey, it be like that sometimes. More room for us. But no, it's a fun stream. I appreciate y'all for coming through, my boys and girl, you know what I'm saying? But as far as this podcast goes, pretty much all we got for y'all. So like we always say, like, comment, subscribe, pull up to the Twitch stream, pull up to the Discord. Y'all have a good ass night.